A state-of-the-art facility with stunning views of the Estrella Mountains and a famous, only one-of-its-kind hillside. Well then, you must be talking about Phoenix Raceway. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 11th through the 13th. Get your tickets today at phoenixraceway.com.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for $0 down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, women-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
Without education, poverty follows a family one generation after the next. But College Bound AZ provides educational pathway to students starting in the 7th grade and turns dreams into degrees. Your support provides laptops and other things to ignite that journey. To help, Chicago Fest West happens Saturday, March 19th at Mesa Convention Center, and the proceeds benefit College Bound AZ. It's a celebration of Chicago during Cub Spring Training through music, food, a classic car show, and more. Get your tickets at chicagofestwest.com today.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an Emu wearing sunglasses.
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Lifestyles Unlimited Wealth and Passive Income Expo is March 17th, 18th, and 19th. Learn how to retire in 5 years or less from thousands of investors and expert wealth educators. Seek from topics like single-family rentals, buying apartment communities, passive investing, workshops on raising capital, asset protection, tax-free income, and more. Go to wealthandpassiveincomeexpo.com. Free for military, first responders, and medical professionals. Enter promo code EXPOUSA. Open to everybody. Wealthandpassiveincomeexpo.com. That's wealthandpassiveincomeexpo.com.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Friday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. All right, so today I have many things to be happy about. Hearing from the Berg on the text line is one of them. He says, hey, there's hail in Tempe. Randy, when will this stop? It's March.
Well, we'll talk about the weather in just a little while here.
I'll give you a spoiler alert tomorrow. Okay, so this is going to have mixed reviews, but I choose that this is a happy thing. Randy, why don't you pour a shot of whiskey for Keon, myself, and yourself for this? Because I've declared that today on my calendar is Raise a Glass for Napa Mike Day. That's right. It was a couple of years ago, we lost a good friend, a good sponsor, just an all-around good guy, family guy. And, instead of being sad about it, I just thought, well, let's make this a happy day. Let's just have it be the day where we say, raise a glass for Napa Mike, cheers. And for those of you who knew him, you know why. And most of you who don't, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So here you go. Raise a glass for Napa Mike. We sure miss him. 888-368-1580. Something else to be happy about. I bought a metal detector.
No kidding.
All I can
How
say
about that?
All I can say is this. Beach better have my money. Anyway, all right. Something else to be happy about. The last place worst team in the NHL, your Arizona Coyotes beat the NHL leading Avalanche again 2-1.
Yeah.
So,
and who called it yesterday? Somebody on the text line
They
says,
did.
I'm putting my money on the
Oh, my God.
Coyotes. You heard it here first. So
yeah, I was telling my wife, I don't regret, the bets that I make that fail. Like I bet against the Suns the other day because I thought it was just perfect opportunity. Boy, was I wrong. And I lost $3 and I was like, all right, I'm fine with that. I didn't bet on the Coyotes when that super fan said we should on the text line. I regret that. I do regret that now. But I'll tell you what, it's nice little glimmers of hope, little shimmering pinholes of light when it comes to the Arizona Coyotes. And they are worst. They beat first. So there's something there. There's something in there. So like you said many times, here's hoping that this GM has a plan for the future. And this is your first little pinpoint of light off in the distance. So,
well, and I think, sometimes you can tell the outcome of a game. A lot of times we like to predict the outcome of a game based upon records or based upon what we've seen teams do. But I've said this before too. It's why you got to play the game. Got to play the game first because you never know. There are times like this when the worst team in the league can beat the best team in the league.
Yeah, I like how the Coyotes coach after they beat the Avalanche, he's like, we don't got to play these guys anymore, do we? All right, so congratulations. There's one thing to be happy about right there. The Arizona Coyotes beating the Avalanche for the second time. The next thing is Grand Canyon University get another W. They just completely dominated the Utah Valley Wolverines. Holland Woods had 22 points and Jovan Blackshear Jr. had 15. Was there ever a feeling that the Utah Mormons were in this thing at all?
No. Well, actually, pretty early on, it got pretty chippy, and there was a 7-point lead that they held through most of the first half. That by the time the second half rolled around, it got erased. There was a tie, and then they pulled away. GCU did later on, and the thing is, they continue to just get consistent play out of Jovan Blackshear Jr. That guy was moving yesterday. I don't think the stat line really gives you the full scope of how good he was playing and how many points he was responsible for, either, by getting the assist or by making the initial pass that got somebody eventually open later on. And then you got to give a lot of credit to Holland Woods, who turned it on in the second half. That's why they call him second half Holland. He's the closer, and he put him to sleep. I mean, but the end score looks worse than what actually happened in the game. It was a lot closer, I think.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's exciting. But also, whatever you're saying there about Blackshear, that sounds like good coaching to me. So there you go. GCU gets the W. We're still trying to find out what their standing will be going into the WAC tournament. Right now, they're currently ranked 5th. There's a possibility if they get another W on Saturday that they could go into this tournament ranked 4th. And what does that mean? It means a day of rest, basically. Means that's one more day they get to rest up before the next game. And then that means further going into a championship game that they have played fewer games. So here's hoping.
It's a revenge game, too, against Dixie State. They played Utah Valley earlier in the year, beat them, played Dixie State next, and lost. And now they're at home, and good seeding in the conference tournament is on the line.
Yep.
And it's senior night and homecoming and all that stuff. Yeah, they're going to want to beat Dixie State and beat them
nuts.
bad. Yeah.
Place going to be rocking.
I don't think the Havoc are going to be any louder than they're going to be on Saturday night.
Looking forward to that game. That will air here on 1580 The Fanatic at 5:45 p.m. on Saturday. The next one is ASU. ASU. Now that's a stomping. That was just a ridiculous stomping that really took place in the second half of that game. But still, beating the California Golden Bears. Just listen, we know who they are. The ASU. We know what the end of the season is going to look like. So just ending it with a couple of W's would be nice. Their last game is Stanford on Saturday. So be nice to get a W, but I'm trying to find the positive.
Winnable game. Stanford's not great, and
Right.
the ASU defense, which was already pretty decent, there's another gear that they've hit lately. Win, lose, or draw, they are making people's lives hell when they try to score.
Well, take a look back. They've won 6 of their last 7 games, and their defense has been smothering in all of that. So if they have found their way, they found it way too late in the season, but at least that gives you some hope going forward. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, and if you make a run in the conference tournament and you feel good and feel confident about yourself and get a good draw, I don't want to say that they're going to win or anything like that, but I don't think these guys have quit on the season. I don't think they think they're done.
Oh, they're done.
They don't think so.
I know. I'm just saying.
They're finished.
Yeah, they're done. Don't tell them because it's good to see. But yeah, that's no chance. Let's get to the text line 888-368-1580. Fed fan says, I got a question since I got chastised on Tuesday for not listening on Monday. Do I need permission if I leave early today? You don't need any permission for anything. We're just saying that the one time we decide that there's a chance to talk some serious tennis, you are MIA. I mean, listen, we've always said, live your life. You don't have to call in sick to the Daily Blender. Okay. We're the easiest thing that you're going to have to worry about in any given day. We hope. So, no, you do not have to ask permission, but please don't leave early. She says, by the way, that golfer that helped Jeffrey get rich sunk a 53-yard putt today at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Yeah. While John Rahm couldn't make a 12-inch putt. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that was an oops. That's what that was.
I hope he
Yeah.
wasn't making the no noise when he missed, because that's embarrassing.
And I didn't see it. What happened?
Number
Like,
one
I
golfer in
just
the world.
told you.
He's like 10 inches away from the hole. He went up there. You're just supposed to just sweep it right in, Well, for some reason, he just stopped short and just barely touched the ball, and it just went clink about half the distance instead of going in the hole. So
yeah, that did not go well for him at all. And I'm sure that'll be on the Sports Center's whatever they call it.
I'm sure.
The
Yeah,
horrible 10.
Yeah, the
thing.
not top 10.
Which, by the way, why is it in the not top 10? Do you not constantly have Chris Berman somewhere in there? Just
I don't want to hurt his feelings. He is an employee.
yeah. Tiger Paws says, yes, the record against the Avalanche is 211. 211 games? I don't know if that's correct, Tiger Paws. You might want to check your statistics. Bob Strishke says, hey, happy outstanding there, Friday, gentlemen. I'm going to pour me a shot for the 3 you and 1 for Napa Mike. There you go, Bob Swirsky. Thank you, man. Charlie Bloy says, hey, guys, speaking of the Coyotes, I'm going to the game tomorrow. I'm sure that's going to be a fun time. Randy, could I please have the usual? Please and thank you.
who was it?
That's Charlie Boy, so you got to give him some soda.
Charlie Boy. Yep. Soda pop for Charlie Boy. There you go, my friend. Enjoy the game tomorrow night. It's going to be fun.
Lost Toby says, Jeffrey, really about to quit the Fanatic to be a beach scavenger? I knew he never fully recovered from COVID. No, I didn't say I was quitting. I'm just saying, metal detectors are fun. Mr. Wilbur says, Jeffrey, and please finish your local update of sports from last night. What? What the hell is he talking about?
I don't know.
Please finish your update of sports from the. What happened?
I don't know. It's from
Phoenix Rising?
Just I don't know. Nothing. It's Wilbur. He's first off, he doesn't know what he probably doesn't even know what time it is. He's blind. Second,
his basketball team wins.
Second, I don't talk about those teams. Oh, that's what it is. You're right. He's trying to talk about the mighty Chalupas. I have no idea, honestly,
Come on,
what
Wilbur.
they did.
How long you been listening to this show?
Mars Bars 805 says, rest in peace, Napa Mike. Tiger Paws says, Jeffrey, you don't know how to read stats. 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. But all you did was 2-1-1. There wasn't even hyphens in there, Tiger Paws. Don't try to blame that on me.
Yeah.
Fed fan says, good for you, Charlie Boy. Have fun at that hockey game. I don't know if you know this, but Charlie Boy has fun everywhere he goes.
Oh, yeah. He's
Keon,
a dancing fool.
You're new to the Valley. We got to find some of those videos. Charlie Boy is just very well known, not just on this radio station, other radio stations, and just as a fixture in the Valley for his dancing moves at the games. This guy is just I can't even explain it. I got to find the video and send it to you. He actually came down and had a dance off with Randy at one of our remotes.
Yeah.
He's got crazy man moves, moves. And he always makes everything more fun. So yeah,
that sounds awesome.
Haven't lived until you've seen the Charlie Boy do the dancing. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, he's a dancing machine.
So I'm going to take just a moment here and say congratulations, I think, to Charlie Turner Thorne, Arizona State University's women's basketball coach. She's retiring after 25 years of being the Sun Devils women's team head coach, and used to be a long, illustrious career. I remembered, at various stations I had been on. This is where I came across Jeff Munn. It's where I came across Charlie Turner Thorne, and she had a very distinguished career with ASU. She's the second winningest coach in Pac-12 women's basketball history. Her record is remarkable: 488 wins, 294 losses. So that's not bad at all. Not sure why she's retiring. She's only 55. She's got plenty of, energy and time left to do whatever she wants to do. But she says, just feels like it's time. That's it. Just her time to go ahead and step down as coach of ASU. So I no matter what you think, that's a hell of a career right there.
Yeah, no kidding. And congratulations to Charlie Turner Thorne. Very sad to see her go, but listen, we wish her all the best in retirement and hope she has everything that she wants and enjoys the rest of her time doing whatever it is she wants to pursue. Whether it's just family or just traveling, or I don't know what she's got in store, but congratulations and enjoy your retirement.
Fed Fan says Charlie Turner Thorne will be missed. She is a rock star. Yep. And by the way, Jeffrey, will you be impressed if the new soccer team at Charlotte actually gets 75,000 people tomorrow night? I just don't care. I don't. Why? I don't even know what their team name is. Why are you bringing up a soccer team from Charlotte? Listen, there's a lot of really dumb people in the South, Fed Fan. So, they're easily tricked into going to stuff. All you got to do is you put the sign out that says rodeo. And then once everybody's in, you pull down the sign that says rodeo and it says soccer. And then they sit down. They're like, well, we're already here. I guess honey, you said you was going to try to learn to read. God damn it. Every time we end up at a soccer game, I think we're going to the rodeo. This is you two. Somebody in this group has got to learn to read. That's just, wow. That's just the way I see it. Mr. Wilbur says, listen, us Wildcat fans are loyal to you, and we also help pay your Oh, shut up, Wilbur. You don't help pay my salary. He says, remember that we will be in March Madness, unlike other teams. And we're not going to root for you. We're not going to root for you, Mr. Wilbur. We don't care. I don't care about you, Arizona. Not going to root for you. I hope you go down in the first round. Oh, you know what? There's no reason to hope. You usually do. So there.
Oh, God. Wow.
I don't have to like your team.
Blender. Wow.
I was never told by management that I had to like a team just because there's an A and a Z next to the name. So no, and you don't help pay my salary, Mr. Wilbur, unless you go to one of our many sponsors and you actually say, hey, we heard about you guys on 15A The Fanatic. Boy, that sure would be helpful. But I don't think you do, Mr. Wilbur. You don't strike me as the kind of guy who likes goods and services that save you money and do wonderful things for your life. I think,
why is that, Jeffrey?
Because I think he just sits there in his sad little apartment and yelling out the window. He's just guessing if there's kids out there. And so there, Mr. Wilbur.
Oh my God.
Occasionally just yells out the window, you sons of bitches. Some old lady walking by is like, I don't know what that was about.
Mr. Wilbur is catching all of this Arizona hate. All of it. Personally.
Mr. Wilbur does not strike me as the kind of person that would yell profanities at young or old people or any people.
Oh, you have not seen all his texts, have you? You don't know Mr. Wilbur.
I've driven the show a few times. He's never struck me as the kind of guy to be belligerent.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of belligerent texts from Mr. Wilbur.
Okay.
Don't even try to push that button. Listen, the owner of the station is a Michigan State fan. He has his own miseries, okay? He doesn't care about you, Arizona, any more than I do. You know who we like around here? ASU. So there. Fed Fan says, man, Jeffrey's on fire today. Actually, it is kind of hot in here. We just turned on the fan. Thank you, honey. Not Fed Fan, honey. My wife, honey, who just turned on the fan. So now that's awkward. Now my wife's sitting there looking at me like, who's honey? You're honey. Oh God. So where were we? We were talking about Charlie Turner Thorne, and by the way, Cliff Kingsbury. He just got to maybe not talk so much. Somewhere in an interview, he told somebody, he's like, "Oh no, I tell everybody, I'm not even making this up. I would do anything before I go back to the job of college football coach. Anything. Like I would do any job." Never wants to be a college football coach again. And he says it's full time now with social media and you're tweeting, calling, FaceTiming. There's like this constant anxiety because if you're not doing it, the university on the street is. It never goes away. In the NFL, when you're done with football, you're done. You go on, you live your life. College, it never goes away. I want to remind you, Cliff, that you had a 19-35 record in your conference. You had 35-40 total record. Didn't seem like you were really doing a lot back then. So, but that's fine. I can tell that he's
with Patrick Mahomes, by the way. That was his quarterback.
But now he's 24-1 with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. So probably shouldn't say things out loud, Cliff. That's all I'm saying. Radio Ron says, for the record, I support both U of A and ASU. I have children that graduated from both universities. So I can't read your other thing, Ron, but I will say the part where you say go Devils. I can't read the other part. I won't. I just won't do it. It's true, though. He does have kids down there, but he's not making me say nice things about your school. Lost Toby says, I said what I said, not fully recovered, confirmed. No, I'm fine, guys. I'm fine. Listen, we're going to take a break and too early for the click. It's only 3:18, Randy.
I didn't know if you saw me.
It's not about saw you. You're not supposed to fire that thing up for 2 more minutes. I knew it was time.
Now we have a 2-minute threshold. Okay.
I'll fight everybody today. I'll fight everybody.
Boy, you are grouchy.
By the way, my wife agrees with me. Thomas Magnum would beat Rockford in a fight.
I hate to tell you, but both of you are wrong. So,
oh boy, good luck with that.
And I love both of you, but you're both wrong.
You're gonna need to pop like another bag of popcorn.
Yeah, I've noticed whenever Randy and I start fighting, suddenly there's a bag of chips or popcorn that Keon starts eating from and smiling.
Just lean back and just watch the fireworks.
It's anxiety eating.
It's turned from anxiety to Schadenfreude. I think he enjoys it. He's like, oh, one of these guys goes down. I'm host. Yeah.
well, now hold on.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
The Arizona Coyotes are off today after they got a big win against Colorado yesterday. They get back at it tomorrow afternoon when they are set to play host to the Senators. The Coyotes still sitting with just a record of 15-35-4. NBA basketball, the Phoenix Suns, they are at home tonight at the Footprint Center as they are set to play host to the Knicks. Suns come in with a 50-12 record. The Knicks have really been struggling recently. They're 25-37. Phoenix a 6.5-point favorite. Over under at 222.5. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
It's time to spread game. The Harlem Globetrotters are coming with an all-new tour. 4 quarters of big plays, ankle-breaking moves, and ball-handling wizardry. Do they dunk? Do they dunk? See the stars rattle the rim in the all-new in-game dunk contest. This is the team everyone can cheer for. The Spread Game Tour is coming. Playing in Phoenix and Glendale on March 5th and 6th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard, aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Did you know that Constructors Bonding has been Arizona's leader in surety management for over 40 years? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than anyone, anywhere. Contractors, developers, attorneys, car dealers, and hundreds of other industries turn to Constructors Bonding for their bond solutions. Call me personally at 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution for better bonding.
The dictionary describes madness as
frenzy, rage, intense excitement. Yeah, that sounds about right.
We define it like this.
There's the pass to Leitner.
What's it up? The Jackets are through for the win.
The madness is coming. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The home for March Madness.
It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Tomorrow, you've got GCU hosting Dixie Cup State at 5:45 p.m. That will possibly decide where they're going to be ranked in the WAC tournament. Of course, on Sunday, we got the Big South Championship in the morning. Then in the middle of the day, you got the Missouri Valley Championship. And in the evening, you got the Women's Pac-12 Championship at 3:45 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, I will catch up on the text line here in a moment. But right now, it's time. You know it. You love it. You can't live without it. It's time for Keon Rose's college basketball dance party.
Okay, there it is. Music starting to go. There we go. Yes, it is a Friday here on the Daily Blender, and trying to get my screen to work here. Having some technical difficulties, but we're talking basketball, men's basketball, and Keon is he's our resident expert. Keon, before I get too far into this, who you liking in the top 4 spots for the upcoming March Madness? Who's your number ones right now?
Who are the number ones? Well, you'd be crazy not to say Gonzaga. You'd be crazy not to say, maybe you toss Auburn in there.
Mm-hmm.
I would have said Kansas, but it's the Big 12 makes that tough because you could go Kansas, you could go Baylor. I'm gonna lean Baylor on that one, and then that 4th spot.
Is that the one you're really worried about?
That's the one that could go in a number of directions. Boy.
All right, we'll come back to it. You think about it. You think about it. All right.
I guess you'd have to say Duke.
Duke.
I
okay.
don't really.
What about you? What about U of A? Is U of A in there?
ACC is so down this year, but U of A is in that conversation. I've seen a lot of the bracketology stuff, and I've seen them as a 2 in most places. One of the 2 seats.
All right, there you have it. There, fourth dimension. Let's start it off with a Saturday morning matchup between number 11 Villanova taking on Butler at Butler, the Hinkie Fieldhouse. What do you got in that matchup?
Yeah, Butler's real bad. Villanova's great. That Jay Wright, well-coached team. all 5 of those starters are phenomenal. And then they've got Caleb Daniels coming off the bench, just giving them 20 points on any given night. So they got 6 guys who are actually starters, the way that they play them in those rotations. But it's part Villanova's real good. Part Butler's awful. I mean,
okay,
yeah, they've been one of the disappointing teams because of how great they used to be, and they just haven't been able to get their footing and really get back to being college basketball relevant.
All right, so the next game up at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning would be number 14 Arkansas taking on number 13 Tennessee Volunteers. This sounds like a good matchup to me. Who are you picking? Tennessee's at home.
Yeah, I mean, the SEC, one day I woke up and the SEC was a basketball conference too. Very bizarre. That's a deep conference. Tennessee is awesome. Arkansas has also been great. Arkansas beat Tennessee the last time that they played. But ever since then, Tennessee ripped off 3 straight victories after that. And they have been playing a whole lot better. Kennedy Chandler, their high scorer, has been shooting the ball a whole lot better, a lot more consistently. Yes, Jeff.
Did you say the SEC is awesome? Is that what you said?
As a basketball conference?
Yeah. Because guess what? In the following week, we got the SEC semifinals and the SEC finals on Money Radio 1510.
Wow.
So
yeah.
Just want to let you know that those will be available on our radio stations.
That's awesome to hear, because I think the SEC is going to have one of the more fun basketball tournaments of all of these leagues that you're seeing. It's just incredible. I'm leaning towards Tennessee. I'm a really big fan of how Kennedy Chandler plays the game. I know Arkansas is good. I know Arkansas is the giant killer. They knocked off Auburn earlier in the season. They've been awesome. And so I don't want to downplay how good Arkansas is.
All right.
But Tennessee's good.
All right. So we're looking for Tennessee to win that game. All right. Moving on down the line here. High noon on CBS. It's the number 7 Kentucky Wildcats taking on the Florida Gators. Sounds like tournament play to me, but who you got in this matchup?
Yeah, I wish that I could believe in the Florida Gators. They're not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination, but like I said, deep conference, and they're just kind of the odd man out. You know, they've won enough games to be in the conversation, and they could knock off a team or two. But when Kentucky is completely healthy and doing well, then it's hard to say that anyone's going to beat Kentucky. You know what John Calipari does over there. He goes out there, he recruits, he gobbles up all the 5 stars, gets them on the roster, and then the next season they're all in the NBA. That's just what he does. Yeah. And there's a reason why Kentucky's number 7, and that would be why. I just think that they're a deeper, better basketball team.
Can I take a moment here and just scold Fed Fan for something?
Mm-hmm.
We stick up for Fed Fan a lot because she's a cool gal, and she's always on top of the sports side of things when we talk about things. And she rolls her eyes and we talk manly stuff, but she's a legit sports person.
Yeah.
And then she turns around and sends this. Jay Wright of Villanova. That is one fine looking coach. What the heck?
Well, Jeffrey, you got to cut her some slack. She's still a lady.
I know,
but single lady at that, huh?
Here I am. I stand up and I say, no, Fed Fan is a force to be reckoned with. She's a serious sports lady. And Villanova, she got Jay Wright. You're not helping.
All right, let's go to the great state of Indiana here, West Lafayette, Indiana, to be precise. Mackey Arena will be hosting Indiana as they take on number 8 Purdue in action tomorrow. What you got in this one? Indiana is not quite the team they were just a few years ago, which was tournament bound and a powerful force and something that you expected great things from. But now Purdue has turned it around. Their basketball program in fuego.
That is Spanish for on fire.
Yeah, I
know you're new around here.
Thanks,
so.
Shepard.
Yeah, well, I did live in Texas before, so I've picked up a couple of things.
Sorry about that. I keep forgetting that.
But yeah, I think Purdue is so good. I know that they had a chance there to lock up the Big Ten title. Lost to Wisconsin, couldn't do it. But you know what? A lot of people lose to Wisconsin. Johnny Davis is that fantastic. But outside of that, I mean, I see no reason why Purdue shouldn't just walk in, beat up Indiana, and then go home, because Indiana has been incredibly inconsistent over the course of the entire season. And it's a damn shame, given the basketball history and pedigree of the blue blood Indiana Hoosiers. It's just I just don't see them winning this basketball game with how good with how good Purdue is, rather, especially around the basket, man. They always seem to have the best big guys.
All right, number 12, Texas Tech in action at Stillwater against Oklahoma State. Who you got in this one?
Again, this is just another one of those. Oklahoma State's real bad. But also, Texas Tech has been surprisingly good. You know, their head coach gets hired away to the University of Texas, and everybody thinks, well, there we go. That's the end of Texas Tech. And instead, they hire a new coach, work the transfer portal, and guess what? They're still relevant. Not only are they relevant, but they have a chance to go into this Big 12 tournament firing on all cylinders. Oklahoma State is I don't have very many nice things to say about them. Okay. They're pretty terrible.
They're just terrible. Then we'll just kind of leave it there then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's what my mom used to say. You don't have anything nice to say. Just let it go.
Don't say it at all. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I want to ask you about this game because I want to say the name of the arena. Marshall is taking on Western Kentucky. Jeffrey, listen to this. EA Diddle Arena. What do you got in that game there, Jeffrey?
Diddle.
Boy. Marshall, Western Kentucky.
Marshall and Western Kentucky.
Diddle Arena.
Why are we even asking him about this game?
I just wanted to say the arena.
He just wanted to say the arena.
Diddle Arena.
Yeah, I don't actually have an opinion.
It is his duty to report on Diddle Arena.
we are out of the purview of games that I have watched. I haven't watched a ton of Marshall and Western Kentucky.
You don't have to comment about Marshall, Western Kentucky at EA Diddle Arena. All right, Stanford is coming in to visit Arizona State at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Do the Devils continue their season-ruining streak that they've been going on here lately?
Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point you're playing the spoiler for a lot of teams. Stanford can scrap. You know, I was watching them play Arizona last night, actually, and they led for a good chunk of that game. Arizona pulled it off at the end because they are just better, but Stanford played above their heads for most of that game. That being said, this ASU team, they're hot. 6 of 7, 6 of the last 7. And again, defensively, they take people out of their comfort zone, take them out of ball games. I'm gonna go ASU to win that game.
All right, that's a good call. Up next, it is the number 21 ranked Longhorns. They're headed to Kansas to take on number 6 Kansas. Boy, the last couple of games, they had number 3 Baylor last game, and they lost in a close one. 2 o'clock on Saturday, they're going to take on the Jayhawks in Kansas. Who do you got in this?
The Big 12 is so deep. It's kind of ridiculous, and I want to take my Longhorns here. I think that they've played really well this season, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I would love to, but I can't because Kansas is the best team in the Big 12. They were able to beat Baylor. Baylor is kind of that litmus test of how good are you. Texas played them and lost. Kansas played them and survived. I just think that Bill Self is one of the best coaches in college basketball, and Kansas is just more consistently better than Texas, who is actually playing much better than they were supposed to this season.
Okay, so other action as the regular season kind of winds down. Iowa State, I kind of smell an upset here. Iowa State is visiting Baylor in Waco. And I know Baylor's number 3 in the country, but I for some reason I just have a sense Iowa State might put a whammy on them. That's the 4 o'clock game on Saturday. Who you got?
It's possible. Iowa State, the Cyclones, they're 20-10 this season. It's been a good year for them. It's like a decent year. It's hard to go into Waco and beat Baylor. That's where I have trouble picking them for an upset in this game. Baylor at home, I don't know how many teams have been able to go in there and come out with a victory. The only team I can think of is Texas earlier in the year. It's tough. It's a lot to ask of an Iowa State team, even a really good Iowa State team, to go into that building the way that it rocks on the road and ask them to come away with a W.
Couple of things. First thing, Big George says ASU is playing spoiler and is going to win the Pac-12 tournament.
Wow.
Comments on that, Keon?
Yeah.
The Pac-12 at the top has just got some heavy hitters, and you're going to have to go through those teams.
Yeah.
I think that ASU, the way they're playing right now, I mean, they could knock off any one of those teams, but if you're going to ask them to do it multiple games in a row, which you would have to do, that's where I have trouble choosing ASU to win the Pac-12 tournament. But I would love to see it because it's fun when it happens.
Be pleasantly surprised if it does happen. And you mentioned Waco. One time I was going down the interstate and I got pulled over in Waxahachie, Texas, and a couple of troopers all pulled up and they had a conference and they came and told me, we're going to have you drive down the road to Waco. We can't spell Waxahachie. It seems excessive, but all right.
Let's just go to the place with less letters.
There's a lot of letters there, and none of us know how to spell the Waxahachie.
It's right there on the side of your car, officer. It just
no, it was a highway patrolman.
No.
Yeah. All right, final question before we go to break here, Keon. It's his final game, 40 years, culminating against his rival, North Carolina, but he's at home. It's his last appearance in the arena there on the campus of Duke. North Carolina visits Duke, number 4 Duke. Who wins this game? Does Coach K leave as a winner, or does he leave on a low note?
Well, this is a game that I think everyone's looking forward to. I saw that some of the tickets for the floor seats behind the basket reaching $90,000.
They've gone up even from 75,000.
Yeah, I mean the price is skyrocketing. It is absolutely insane.
Blimey.
The last 101 games played between these two teams, 51-50. But I just think that this year, Duke is so much better than North Carolina. I wish that this was a better North Carolina team so we could get a better send-off, because I think that Duke is going to work them over the same way they did earlier in the year when they beat them by 20 points.
Yeah. All right. And that's it. That's the dance party, Jeff Go.
Nicely
for
done.
this week. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll get more and more interesting as we go through the championships and the tournament. So, all right, guys, let's take a break. We will come back. We've got some more things we got to talk about before we usually do like a nosedive right into the NFL. So we are going to talk about the UFC fight this weekend that Randy has been talking about. We have other various things to cover. Then we will make your NFL dreams come true. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Have you started your New Year resolution to lose weight you put on last year? This is Stephen McCollum, host of The Main Event here on The Fanatic. If you're like me, it's hard to start your New Year's resolution to lose those unwanted pounds while we're having football playoff parties every weekend. I'm a client with Valley Medical Weight Loss, so I know firsthand that it really works. I get it. There's too much going on to lose the weight you've been saying you're going to lose. But visit one of their 3 Valley locations to find out how fast the visit is and how affordable it is. They take walk-ins, and if you mention The Fanatic or Money Radio, your first week is free at Valley Medical Weight Loss. Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from The Main Event here on 1580 The Fanatic. And join me 1 to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday as we discuss all the home teams. Suns are starting their playoff push, Cardinals and NFL offseason, Kyler Watch, NHL trade deadline is closing in, the Coyotes news, and all the headlines from around the country. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on The Main Event, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
Without education, poverty follows a family one generation after the next. But College Bound AZ provides educational pathway to students starting in the 7th grade and turns dreams into degrees. Your support provides laptops and other things to ignite that journey. To help, Chicago Fest West happens Saturday, March 19th at Mesa Convention Center, and the proceeds benefit College Bound AZ. It's a celebration of Chicago during Cubs spring training through music, food, a classic car show, and more. Get your tickets at ChicagoFestWest.com today.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emu wearing sunglasses.
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. It's time to spread game. The Harlem Globetrotters are coming with an all-new tour. 4 quarters of big plays, ankle-breaking moves, and ball-handling wizardry. Do they dunk? Do they dunk? See the stars rattle the rim in the all-new in-game dunk contest. This is the team everyone can cheer for. The Spread Game Tour is coming. playing in Phoenix and Glendale on March 5th and 6th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com.
Today, someone will clearly understand their doctor because they have an Arizona licensed American Sign Language interpreter at the appointment. Today, someone will use a voice amplifying device to have a meaningful conversation. Today, someone among the more than 1 million deaf, hard of hearing, and deafblind Arizonans will enjoy greater accessibility and effective communication thanks to the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing. To learn more, visit acdhh.org, sponsored by the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing.
1580 The Fanatic.
And at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
Let's do a read here. I'll bring it back. Welcome back to the Daily Blender on this Friday in March. Blustery, kind of big clouds outside, some weather activity going on. Give you a weather update in just a minute, but I got to tell you, a big fight coming up this Saturday. And I just put my bet down on the Covington Masvidal fight, the rivalry that's happening Saturday night. FanDuel making it even more interesting for you if you're a new customer. 30-1 odds on either fighter, doesn't matter which. You go in there. You put your money down on either Masvidal or Covington. I'm taking Masvidal. I think he's a bad man. And so I put my money on Masvidal. You could pick Covington. You could pick Masvidal. Either way, if you're new to FanDuel Sportsbook, you get 30-1 odds. That means if you put $5 down and your fighter wins, that's going to turn into $150 real quick. And who couldn't use 150 extra bucks right now? I know I can. It's quick. It's easy to get started. About 90 seconds is all it takes for you to get registered. Your deposit is easy. Get your winnings fast. Tons of different sports bets and types to wager on. FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. It's super quick. I'm just telling you, it's a win-win situation for you. Don't miss your chance to cash in on one of the biggest fights of the year. Sign up for FanDuel Sportsbook using promo code Randy1580. That's Randy1580 at FanDuel Sportsbook today. Remember, you got to be 21 or older, present in Arizona, new users only. $10 first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bonus of $150. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Not sure what's happened with Jeffco here. And so we're going to continue on. Let me bring up the text line, and we'll answer your text here at 888-368-1580. Again, 888-368-1580. Here he is. Jeffco has returned. So he's got the text line. I'm not going to fire it up then.
I had a dog throwing up.
Uh-oh. We had a dog emergency.
So, honey, if you're listening, if you fed the dog something yellow in nature, I probably shouldn't have done that. But
oh boy,
everything's fine now. Sort of. Sorry. I'm sorry. What did I miss?
Nothing. I just talked about the big fight coming up this weekend. Who I put my money on, which is Masvidal. I'm
really?
taking Masvidal. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at stuff. I actually went and took a look at that. Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal, and I think I'm going to go Team Covington on this one.
Well, I mean, either way, it's going to be a great fight. I don't care who you put your money on.
All of my UFC friends are going Covington, and I haven't watched a lot of Covington fights, admittedly, but I have seen a couple of Jorge Masvidal fights, and that guy bloodies people. I'm leaning Masvidal just based on, maybe some recency bias, but every time I've seen him fight, it's bad for the other dude.
Yeah. Well, the other dude knows him as well as he knows the other dude. So, yeah. And I think the advantage as far as fighter goes, if you just look at them as straight up individuals, and yeah, I get it. The Masvidal can be brutal, but Covington has the advantage on a couple of different areas. The only place he doesn't is in reach, where Masvidal has 2 inches on Covington, but they are exactly the same height. They have the exact same weight. But when you look at the way they attack things and fight, and it says they both have an orthodox stance, but that doesn't tell the whole story and the instincts of the fighter. I'm just going to say Covington is a much stronger, much more consistent, and really he's kind of a sniper. He's kind of deadly. So Masvidal may be brutal, but Covington is very calculated. He knows what the hell he's doing in there.
Well, I mean, I'm just taking Masvidal. His background is he used to do backyard fighting all the time. Then he went to that MMA club and he was a part of that. That's the whole Covington Masvidal. That's where the whole fallout were. They were really good friends, and they had a falling out. So I think that even though Covington is a great fighter, I can see this fight going either way. I don't think it's going to be a quick boom, boom, out go the lights kind of fight. I think this is going to go a few rounds, and I think they're both going to beat each other into submission. We'll have to wait and see. But I think Masvidal, in the end, if it's a long fight, I think Masvidal ends up winning this thing.
Well, that's what makes it fun. I'm not paying for the fight, though. I know that much.
No,
I ain't going to
No.
pay for UFC. I'm going to watch it on YouTube later, like God intended, for free. But maybe I will saunter on over and put a couple dollars on Covington for the win. Problem is, at minus 310, it's not going to get you a lot on the money line. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go investigate it. I will investigate it. What was our lunch bet about the other day? Remember, I made a lunch bet.
Yeah,
me versus
it was how will the Suns without Chris Paul finish above 500?
Uh-oh. Well, looks like we're going to Barrow's Pizza on Jeffrey.
Well, I don't know. They're playing a Knicks team. Knicks team tonight. It should be an interesting test.
The Knicks are reeling right now, but what I'm worried about is their East Coast road trip that they've got, because that's worrying. You've got a much improved Magic team now that they're getting healthy. You've got the Miami Heat, you got the Milwaukee Bucks in that run. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about with this lunch bet. But the Knicks are going to be here, and the Knicks are not playing well.
Lacrosse guy says, Radio Ron called me, and on Friday the 18th, he wants me to co-host with Keon the college lacrosse dance party. Huge weekend of lacrosse, he says.
Wow.
Sounds good to me, Randy. You and me.
Yeah,
I'm
out.
We're off on
Yeah.
the 18th. Good luck, guys.
Hope you got
Sounds
3
good.
hours to spare, because you'll be doing the show along with
Go
Keon.
for it.
Yeah. Friday, what? I need to mark that in my
March
calendar.
18th, I guess.
Oh, March. Oh, that's a good day for me.
Whatever
Yeah,
that
perfect.
day is. Yeah, I'm happy. Charlie Boy says, I don't know who's better at ranting, Jeffrey or Kelly Raspberry from the Kid Craddock Morning Show. Well, Randy's better at ranting than I am. What are you talking about? And I don't even know who these other people are you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Yeah.
Let's see. Mr. Wilbur says, Jeffrey, at the next remote that I can attend, I'm going to hit you so hard with my white cane that you're going to think that I'm Mark McGuire. I'm pretty sure I'll see it coming, Mr. Wilbur. Kind of like my chances on that one. King of Kitten says beer is going to taste good tonight. Good Cat says, gentlemen, did you hear the Cowboys are possibly cutting Amari Cooper for cap issues? Would he be a good fit on the Cards or the Colts? Well, a better fit for the Cardinals, because Steve Keim loves a retread, doesn't he? He loves to go find somebody at the end of their career and sign them to a multi-year contract.
Well, Amari Cooper's 27. So
yeah, but Amari Cooper is not quite what he used to be. I mean, why do you think they're letting him go and not CeeDee Lamb? I mean,
well, because they just drafted CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb is better. So is Michael Gallup.
It's going to be a big sticky point for Kyler, who was wanting CeeDee Lamb. So you send over Amari Cooper, he's going to be like, wrong guy, and then he'll pout some more.
Well,
maybe
he'll have to pout.
But Amari Cooper is big, strong wide receiver. He's basically what we hoped AJ Green would be able to be for an entire season.
Yeah, who would you rather have, Jeffrey? AJ Green or Amari Cooper? I'm going Amari Cooper all day.
It's Amari Cooper.
Give me a chance to answer. Why wouldn't you let me answer? Because now it just sounds like I'm copying off your paper.
Go ahead. Do you want a Cooper or you want Green?
Well, I guess if I had to choose, I'll take Amari Cooper, but I think there's other wide receivers out there. And instead of trading off draft capital or God knows what, I mean, take a look at the draft. There's a lot of good wide receivers.
They're cutting.
But if he's released from the Cowboys, we can pick him up here.
You mean we have to pay him?
Well, of course you'd have to pay him.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Because he's going to want more money than a draft pick. See?
Well, yeah. And there are, guys in the draft I think that the Cardinals should go after. George Pickens, But, if you go after Amari Cooper, I mean, you do just know You've got a guy that's played in the NFL that's a more proven commodity. But I mean, there's no wrong answer to going draft or that way, unless there's a bidding war for Amari Cooper, in which case I don't back out of that.
So why is Amari Cooper having difficulties in Dallas? Is it because of Dak Prescott, or is it maybe because of himself?
They're letting him go because he's a big cap hit.
Well, they've chosen this. They could have moved things around. They could have made the attempt. So I gotta wonder, why are they letting Amari Cooper go? What is the downside?
I honestly don't see it. I know that there were some plays in the playoff game where he was wide the hell open, and Dak just did not see him.
All right.
So I just don't know if that's just not a good fit, because those first couple of years he was in Dallas, he was great. And I think part of it too is the emergence of Michael Gallup and the drafting of CeeDee Lamb. He's now having to share with these two other guys who are also dynamic players. And he's kind of moved into the background because he's not as fast as them. He's the guy that you throw, that back shoulder throw to in the end zone. You just box out a DB and go up and get the ball. Those are speedsters, so they're always going to put up the bigger numbers. I don't think that there's anything really wrong with Amari Cooper.
All right, so how much money do you think Amari Cooper is going to command?
Boy, he could get if there's a bunch of teams that are out there that want him, and I know that the Raiders might be interested in bringing him back. I've read that some other teams are just looking and tried to pay him a lot of money last offseason. So he could probably go for 20 mil, 25 mil. He could command a lot of money if a lot of teams think that he's the answer at wide receiver.
888-368-1580. So I guess Randy, do you want the Amari Cooper? Do you want to spend some money on that?
I would love to see us investigate and try to get this guy here. If the Los Angeles Rams can pick up OBJ and a few of these guys and bring them in and work the contract around somehow to make it work, Steve Keim's got to make he's got to sharpen his pencil and make some of these contracts work. And I'd love to see us pick up Amari Cooper. I think you put him in the slot. He's a big dude. You throw it up there. You let him go get it. Hey, listen, I think it's a plus. Instead of AJ Green, who is indeed at the end of his career, who, by the way, didn't have his head turned around, wasn't tuned in that game against, was it Green Bay or Minnesota? One of the two. Green Bay, which would have been the winning touchdown. Amari Cooper would have caught that ball, and we'd be talking a different story in regards to last season. So, plus, he's a guy, if one of the other guys goes down, you could still go to him. And I'd love to see us get Zach Ertz. I'd love to see us sign Zach Ertz again.
Yeah, that is a must. You need somebody like him, especially if it's going to keep being Kyler Murray. Blissful Hayes says, good luck to the Suns tonight against the Stevie Nicks. I'm impressed that Landry Shamet and Campaign beat out Booker and CP3 for starting guard position on the Suns. What? Is he trying to be funny?
I'm assuming that's a joke.
I would just let it go.
Lost Toby says, be back in about an hour. Got my final meeting of the week.
Okay.
Hey, listen, don't skip the AA meetings, Lost Toby. They're important. Hot dog water in his house. Fed fan says, Jeffrey, you can give me a hard time, but at least I knew what team Wright coaches. Wright who?
What?
I don't even remember.
Jay Wright, when she said he was attractive. Oh, she heard Villanova and knew it was Jay Wright.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I've already forgotten about that. Kiss the Cook says, home alone, getting ready for a boys' weekend, and I'm jetting out of town. Time to satisfy the old sweet tooth. Candy store. Anyone? Is he talking about something other than actual candy?
I wouldn't know.
Is it like, is that the strip club, or is he talking about actually like C's candy or something?
I don't know. Sometimes I get a hankering for something sweet like that.
Yeah, I don't want to be involved in any weird hanky panky, but C's candy is still out there. Yeah. Butt Fumble says, also there's a candy place. Oh crap! It starts with an A, like a mountain. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I brought it up. Butt Fumble says $20 million a year for Cooper.
Maybe.
Boomer Sooner says, good day, gentlemen. Blender Nation, just a nice little thunderstorm up here in Anthem. Randy, could get a cold beer, please. Senior Wake and Bake says, Cowboys are releasing him because they don't want to keep being Amari's pooper scooper.
I see what you did there.
I do see.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a moment. When we come back, we've got a couple other non-NFL things to talk about, but then we will dive face first into what's happening at the Combine, other assorted things with the NFL. I got to go see what the heck. My dog puked up something that was like artificial yellow, like custard yellow. Like he ate some soap or something. I have to investigate. Anyway, we'll be back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Here's Howie Long for Skechers Arch Fit shoes.
If you've never tried Arch Fit shoes from Skechers, you're missing out on next level comfort. Saying you like comfort but not trying Arch Fit is like saying you like Italian food but you've never tried pasta. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists who used over 20 years of data to create a shoe that provides total foot and arch support for all day comfort. Arch Fit distributes support across the arch no matter what foot type you have. You don't need an arch problem to love how they feel.
See all the styles of machine washable Arch Fit shoes now at Skechers.com.
Is there anything better than the sound of 3 races breathing life into a new NASCAR season? What about if it's at a state-of-the-art facility with stunning views of the Estrella Mountains and a famous, only one-of-its-kind hillside? Well then, you must be talking about Phoenix Raceway. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 11th through the 13th. Get your tickets today at phoenixraceway.com.
Okay, you're back to dining out, but there's dining and there's dinnertainment. Get ready for an amazing dining experience like none you've ever had at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. When it comes to Asian cuisine, nobody does it better or more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's not just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where delicious 7-course meals prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date night, or a night on the town. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on teppanyaki, sushi, cocktails, and more. Book your night of fun right now. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114. That's 480-607-1114. We'll see you there. Without education, poverty follows a family one generation after the next. But College Bound AZ provides educational pathway to students starting in the 7th grade and turns dreams into degrees. Your support provides laptops and other things to ignite that journey. To help, Chicago Fest West happens Saturday, March 19th at Mesa Convention Center, and the proceeds benefit College Bound AZ. It's a celebration of Chicago during Cubs spring training through music, food, a classic car show, and more. Get your tickets at ChicagoFestWest.com today.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. So I did a little investigating. The dog has stopped throwing up. He's resting comfortably. And it came out like, I don't want to gross you out, but it was like custard, like thick yellow custard. And I'm like, did he eat a bar of soap? Could he have gotten into? And then I did on further investigation find chunks of this like really solid chew toy that he just, the thing is really solid. Awful lot of chunks of that in there. So I thought, well, I wonder if that's messed with his stomach, but the consistency of what came out just doesn't make sense to me. So I tried to call the wife, couldn't get her on the phone. So It's a mystery right now what that is, but hopefully Buddy will be fine. Blissful Hayes says maybe Buddy was drinking Southern Comfort and Mountain Dew all day. That'll cause you to hurl like that. I won't put it past him. I would not put it past that dog. But he did pass my sobriety test there over there on the tile. So, luckily
he could bark the alphabet backwards and
we didn't have time for that. I'll check that later. But by then the blood alcohol level would go down. So it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
But luckily I saw it start to happen, that, and I was like, whoa, and I ran over quickly and picked him up and put him where the tile is. And so of course, then he walked in and just puked on his bed. So now I got to wash that. But at least it wasn't the carpet. So true. Guess that's a win. So anyway, yeah, poor boy. Trying to see if I can see him there. I think he's okay. Team X says Cooper and Murray would be the most passive aggressive combo in the entire NFL.
But what? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing some context there. But what's Cooper done that gives you that impression?
Yeah, well, Team X, explain it. That does give you a little bit of pause if that's true.
Because Cooper's always struck me as just a really kind of show up, handles his business kind of guy. I've never heard him say much.
Maybe that's why he's passive aggressive, Keon.
Maybe I'm legitimately asking. Maybe there's just something I'm missing.
Blissful Hayes, thank you for that. And hey, so remember yesterday I was telling you how them crazy Russians there, right? They're getting banned from everything.
Yeah.
They're banning their money. They're banning their rich people. They're banning them from hockey, from skating, from this, that, and the other thing. Even the Paralympics. And, some things I agree with, some things I don't. We've had those discussions. But this one right here, I'm just a little, it took me, what? The International Cat Federation has banned Russian cats from international competitions now.
What?
Now, I know it's not sports, but it was getting damn ridiculous, isn't it?
The International Cat Federation.
What do you want the cats to do? I imagine you're trying to apply some kind of pressure, but I don't think that Vladimir Putin woke up this morning and went, well, the Paralympians, well, that doesn't bother me very much. And the Alexander Ovechkin, well, that doesn't bother me very much. But the cats, that's too far.
He's gone too far. And here's the other thing. It's the International Cat Federation, but of course, because it's a foreign organization, they are the FIFE, F-I-F-E. And for some reason, the E is small in FIFE. I really don't get this. I don't mean to sound like the press secretary from the White House the other day when she was calling it FIFA, the soccer people, or FIFA.
FIFA. You can tell how much soccer she watches.
Well, and listen, if I hadn't heard somebody else say FIFA, I probably would have said FIFA too. I don't watch any soccer.
If it weren't for the video game, I'm pretty sure.
So this isn't just about Russian people bringing their cats to stuff. Starting this week, no cat bred in Russia can be imported or registered in any FIFE pedigree book out. Come on, man. Seriously. I mean, although there's one part of this I can kind of understand. Seems like every James Bond where you had a bad guy with a Russian accent, he was petting a cat. He's sitting there. No, Bond, I expect you to die. And he's got a weird cat. So, yeah, way to take a stand there, FIFE.
Wow.
Thanks. There are people that are banning Russian things that nobody asked for to be banned. None of us asked for this. I don't know what we're supposed to do with any of this information.
And I don't like pregnant women anymore because they remind me of Russian dolls. You take them apart, there's one inside. USA. Okay, calm down now. Calm down.
Somebody changed the name of the drink from White Russian to White Ukrainian, and I was just like, what? Why?
Stop.
Why? This is the freedom fries thing
And
all over again.
This is how you end up with. Remember. Racial attacks on Asians that we all had to deal with and apologize for and try to stop. This is when you end up with the internment camps with all these Japanese Americans who had no ties to Japan, and yet they were punished. This is the thinking that leads to that kind of thinking. And I get it. Just wanting to put a little pressure on Putin is one thing. When you start going into dumb areas, then you start going into all areas. And the next thing you know, we're rounding up perfectly innocent people and making them stay. Well, they wouldn't probably do internment camps. They'd do worse. Be like, Best Western or Motel 6 or something.
We'll leave the light on for you. You and your cat are welcome here.
Dodger Danny says it is ridiculous, maybe, but they're doing anything and everything they can to put pressure on that stupid president. Yeah, this is not one of those things. Sports, yeah, hockey especially. But really, kitty cats? I mean, I hate cats too, so I'm for it.
But it's not helping you at all because it's only Russian cats. It's not. They're not stopping the whole thing.
Here in the United States of America, if I were in charge, I'd say just to make sure there's no Russian cats, I'm banning all cats. No. Mr. President, I've got my reasons.
Just banning.
Just all of them. This is dumb. So dumb. Listen, here's another dumb thing, but I kind of enjoy it. I guess on the TNT basketball show, Charles Barkley is saying he refuses to say the word Lakers again until they actually win a playoff game. He is refusing to even utter their name. And I had the audio. I forgot to send it to you, but it was just amazing. He just says, like, no, I'm not. They're losers. And we talk about them too much on this network. The nitwits at TNT and the nitwits at ESPN, that's all they ever talk about nonstop are the Lakers, and they're losers. And so I'm like, Chuck's right. So he has, of course, the guys on the panel are like quickly changing the subject. Is like, Charlie called our bosses nitwits. And, I guess they are afraid. Chuck's not. Chuck's already said, I can take this job or leave it.
Yeah. And when has he ever held his tongue from any opinion he's ever held?
Well, it's true.
I agree with him on this one.
It's true. Why do all the sports programs start off with a look at the Lakers and another loss last night? Who the hell cares?
Bron.
I just wish, for the love of God, the ESPN, stop putting the Lakers and the Knicks on TV. You have to. They're both terrible, and it's hard to watch. And I just like watching basketball, like to go home, whatever's on, and you just throw it on and just have it on. I don't want to watch the Lakers anymore. This is, is it fun to watch the Lakers lose? Yeah, but I also like watching good basketball.
And the Lakers are not it. So Chuck is going to call them the team from Southern California, or geezers, or losers. And that is
going to call them the geezers. Nice.
Geezers. I agree with all this. And it's amazing how much I do agree with Charles Barkley. He said this about Aaron Rodgers, says, I think he's that pretty girl that you got to tell her she's pretty every day. That is so right on about Aaron Rodgers. So I listen, I hate the Lakers too, Chuck, but whatever. 888-368-1580. Killer Rabbit says, yes, I have changed too. Instead of rushing home after work, I'm saying I'm Ukrainian home. Oh, brother. That was a good and a bad pun all at the same time. Don't be rushing home. Good Cat says, I have the best idea ever to stop Putin. Tie him to a chair, tape his eyelids open, make him watch all the Kardashian and Jenner shows ever. Are you out of your mind? He'd immediately nuke us. I'm surprised we haven't nuked ourselves because of that show. Well, if you got him tied to a chair, you can tape his eyelids open. That means you could just roll him away somewhere where he could stop. So you really got to think these through, Good Cat. Blissful Hayes says, did you tell Buddy that Garth Algar from Wayne's World said, if you're going to spew into this? He's a dog, and I was just very quickly trying to get him to spew somewhere other than the carpet.
Also, he's young. I don't think he'll get the reference, to be honest.
Poor guy. Now he's sad because his bed is out of his reach. He has one of those very comfy beds, and he's like, and I'm like, you get a towel. Nothing personal. That's all I had handy for you to use as a bed now, buddy. Beer Bob says some bars in the valley have stopped selling Russian vodka because of this. Fine. Just fine. Whatever. If it makes you feel better, but it does nothing. Lost Toby says, okay, everybody, I'm back. Welcome back, Lost Toby. Fed Fan says, when the Lakers are on, I'll switch to college basketball because really, that's better basketball. But a lot of the time,
significant margin.
A lot of the time, and I've said this before, and to mixed reviews, college basketball is more exciting to watch than the NBA. At some point, I mean, there are some teams, like the top 10 teams in the NBA. Oh, yeah, that's way better. But college basketball is better than the rest. And you see these guys and they're playing their hearts out. They're actually doing something that I know a lot of NBA fans are not used to. It's called playing defense, and they are running for everything. They're putting their bodies on the line. Why? Same reason the college football players do. They're auditioning for a job someday. They want to get noticed. They want to help their team win something so they get noticed. It's all about making sure you play your absolute best to get a job later where you get paid. So, college basketball, a lot of the time, it's just better basketball in general. I mean, that also, though, has its level, and you're about to see that in the tournament. Not every team in the tournament is good basketball. You know,
and not all these leagues are good. There's some you can definitely find bad college basketball, but if you, I agree with you. I think if you find just an average college basketball game, just picked at random, and an NBA game picked at random, you're going to find that the intensity in college basketball way higher.
Navy Brad says, send in SEAL Team 6. Well, he's done puking. I don't know what you would want SEAL Team 6 to do with this. I mean, it was disgusting. I do have to still deal with it afterwards, but that seems like overkill, Navy Brad. And if you mean with Putin, no, that's just craziness. Just maybe his own people will take care of business. Hitting the Nut says, I am so upset with the Russians for attacking Ukraine when Tucson is right there for the asking by a regular border.
Right?
Do you think we'd actually retaliate if it's just Tucson? I'm just saying.
Do you think they just draw the border just a little further in and just pretend it didn't happen?
We'll just chalk it up to a misunderstanding. Just as long as you don't go anywhere else. You can have Tucson. There's no nuclear power plant there. So just thank you. Navy Devil says, can I get a beer and a shot? I'm taking the family to Disney World tomorrow. I am going to need some whiskey.
Yes, you are.
Disney World or Disneyland? Because you're going to need more than whiskey if you're going to Florida. You're going to need some shots. You're going to need some bug spray. You're going to need some Xanax. There's a whole list of things you're going to need if you're going to Disney World.
Yeah.
Mr. Pringle says, if you want to watch any NBA team play defense, watch the Boston Celtics. Them some junkyard dogs on the defense.
Especially Marcus Smart. Oh my God. Marcus Smart playing defense is one of my favorite things to watch in the NBA.
Senior Rakenbake, somebody else just made that joke. Senior Rakenbake says, I'll do my part, asking, why are you Russian? Okay, just have another, whatever it is you're having. And we know it doesn't make that noise, but
it's all we've got.
Yeah. 888-368-1580. So what do you say? Have anybody watched any of the combine tape? Have you seen? I don't know. I'm kind of torn on the whole combine thing. I don't know what we really learned from that, especially when a guy like Kyler Murray can say, no cameras, please, when they measured him.
Well, I don't think they show the measurement of anybody.
Oh, the hell are they measuring?
Well, your height, your hands, and your hands.
And
that's all. Your weight.
And
that's it. That's it.
And
that's
suspicious. So, and you see them running it's like the 40-yard dash seems to be a very important thing for everybody.
For certain positions.
And I see some big guys running 5.6. I'm like, wow, that's Tom Brady kind of time right there, big guy. And I see other guys running 4.4. And okay, so this is interesting to see how fast they can run. But as we said on the Twitter there, Keon got very excited about some wide receivers. He was like, well, I know we need a quarterback, but look at this guy. Well, here's the thing. Can he have him run a 40 and catch a ball?
But he can't. That's the thing. It's specifically because it was Chris Olave, who at Ohio State was a beast. I know he can catch. I know he can beat coverage and get open. I just didn't know he was that fast. And so if he's gonna have that level of speed, with what I know about him,
how did you not know he had it before? If you watched him play,
I don't know. Like a part of it is just without clocking it, you can't always tell.
This is why I want to change the combine. If you're a wide receiver, you run a 40 and catch a ball. If you're a lineman, you run a 40 and tackle a guy. If you're whatever your position is, you run a 40 and.
Well, they do have the drills where you catch too. So it's not.
No. I want it to be 40 with a.
But the 40 is not necessarily, how fast are you in game speed. It's a measure.
Why are we
it's
bothering?
because it's a measure of explosiveness. If you are a guy that can't get off quickly in the 40-yard dash, because what we get is that end number, that 4.4 or 4.2 number, but they look at like every stage of it. Here's the first 10 yards. Here's the second 10 yards. And they're looking for your explosiveness. How fast do you get off the line and all of that stuff? They want to see what that is. And
why make them do a 40? Just have them explosively get off the line. Show us how fast you are doing a 10-yard. Like from a stance. Have them do it from a stance. See what I'm saying? The 40 is a flawed metric.
It's not
in the combine.
It's not. It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not. But it's just like the hand size and Kenny Pickett yesterday. You can't use it by itself. And I know Al Davis back in the day used to just draft the fastest human that played wide receiver at every combine. He's, oh, God, he's Darius Hayward Bay. And then, where is he? Because he couldn't catch. But he couldn't catch in college either. So then you draft him and he's fast, but it doesn't matter.
See, I'm with Jeffrey on this. I mean, I understand the metric of measuring a guy's all-out speed from 0 to 40 yards. I get that, but I think instead of they're wasting a lot of time up there, man. Cornerbacks, safeties, guys like that. If they can't cover one of these wide receivers, I want to see it. I want to see that going on. I want to see quarterbacks throwing to these wideouts with coverage of these guys that are going to be playing cornerback and safety in the next level.
I hear you guys, but the combine is not the only thing that happens. We have the Senior Bowl. I forget what the other bowl is that they have out in Vegas, but they take these guys and they put them against each other. That's the part of the process where they do that, where you're looking at these, where you're looking at
when you're chlamydia bowl.
No,
is it chlamydia?
No, it's a chlamydia bowl.
No, it's not.
I thought it was a drunky drunk bowl.
It was not. It's none. It's none of those things.
It's a child support bowl.
Is that what it is?
Child support.
No, it is not.
What stays here goes home with you later, bowl.
But whatever you want to call it, they have that part of the process for that reason. You do have the guys going up against each other in coverage, the linemen, I have you play a little guard, I have you play a little center, I have you play a little tackle.
But all we ever see of these guys running 40s. It's all we ever
because
see.
the combine is a different part of the process.
Combine's dumb. Lost Toby says 20-yard dash would tell me more.
Well, if you're a lineman, they look at the 20 yards more so.
I'd settle for the 30-yard dining dash.
But they have
them fat boys like to just chaw down and get somebody else to pay the bill.
Line them offensive linemen up at the buffet and see how fast they go through that. That's going to tell me a hell of a lot as a football coach. I'm going to tell you right, that guy's got good hands. He's got good hand-eye coordination. He's got good balance. Look at the speed, the accuracy. I want that guy on my team.
You know what? Randy and I should reconfigure the combine. I think that you'd end up with better teams.
I disagree.
You don't even know our other ideas, Keon.
Yeah, we've got one like, dodge the minefield. Yeah, you're throwing minefields out there. Let's see your footwork now, Jack.
And listen, we're also offering...
Just go out there and dodge the minefield.
Right. And we offer free prosthetics. We're not cold and heartless.
Right.
Just saying, when it's on the line, man, it's on the line.
Listen.
Oh, my God.
Ryan Fitzpatrick says they should have to run the 40 and then drink a 40.
There you go.
We know Ryan Fitzpatrick likes that idea for the combine. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little more about the combine, and then we'll jump into some other NFL stuff, too. And it's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harman Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harman Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmansolar.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emo wearing sunglasses.
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Sun Devil men's basketball returns home for its final 2 home games of the season, starting with Cal Thursday, March 3rd at 6 p.m., presented by Coca-Cola. Then the Sun Devils face Stanford Saturday, March 5th at 1 p.m. for Senior Day and our Fan Appreciation Game. Join us pregame as we honor Marion Jackson and Kamani Lawrence and enjoy $1 soft drinks and hot dogs all afternoon as we say thank you for your support this season. Get your tickets today at sundeviltickets.com. That's sundeviltickets.com.
Today, someone will be included on a work conference call thanks to video relay services. Today, someone will have a support service provider, giving them the environmental and visual information to access and connect with their communities. Today, someone among the more than 1 million deaf, hard of hearing, and deafblind Arizonans will enjoy greater accessibility and effective communication thanks to the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing. To learn more, visit acdhh.org, sponsored by the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing.
College basketball is on the Fanatic. Are you ready for the madness? GCU is charging through the WAC on a collision course for the big dance. Catch their games live on the home of GCU basketball. We catch up with the best the NCAA has to offer. When it comes to college basketball, we are your home for all the action. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Friday. Well, I tell you what, I kind of feel like this weather we're having today would have been better for tomorrow. Because this is straight up napping weather, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just curl up, enjoy the vibe, you know. I was outside with the dog earlier, and this big one fat raindrop hit me right in the back of the neck. I thought a bird had crapped on me.
Yeah.
My wife saw my face and she started laughing. She's like, a bird got you? And I'm like, no, just Chubby Rain. Okay, what's that a reference to? What movie? Chubby Rain. Come on.
Chubby Rain.
Oh, it's right on the tip of your tongue, isn't it, there, Keon? Thinking Eddie Murphy, Steve Martin, making a movie, Heather Graham, other assorted people. Come on. Come on. No Google.
I'm not Googling. Not Googling.
Right. See how fast the listeners figure this one out. It's a great movie, by the way. 888-368-1580. So, hey, Randy, you want to hit us with a weather report real fast? Because
man, absolutely. I'm always ready to hit you with the action weather update from the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Randy White at your bidding. It turned cloudy, quite breezy. Some scattered showers and hail reported around the valley. Different locations. Currently 67 degrees in the western part of the valley, 66 in downtown Phoenix. Scottsdale showing 66, all under mostly cloudy skies, going for a low tonight of 52. I think personally it's going to get a bit lower. And by the way, if you see a barbecue cover floating around, that's mine. And blew off one of my grills out here in the backyard. Let's see. Tomorrow, 71 and partly cloudy, breezy and 69 throughout the weekend. And then it starts climbing back up next Sunday, a week from this Sunday, next Sunday, 82 degrees. We'll return from the Harman Solar studio, from the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Randy White. Back to you, Jeffco.
Thank you. Swazman was coming back from snowboarding. He wanted to know. Good Cat says, dang, guys, my elderly mom and family still live in Tucson. Don't offer them up to the Russians. But Good Cat, let's just be honest. She's led a good life. I mean, think about the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Say
think about Ukraine.
Rex Terra actually says, my favorite T-shirt. He has a T-shirt that says, make Arizona great again. And it's got the state of Arizona map with a line across the bottom that goes around Tucson. And it says, build the wall.
Yeah, build that wall.
I was against the wall before. Now, if you do that map, I'm all for it. Apple says, need that song from the dance party on my playlist. Randy, what's it called?
It's called Keon's Dance Party. Keon's college football / basketball dance party. I can give you a little taste of it here.
I think he wants to know what the real name of the song is.
That's the real name of it there. It's
then you're going to have to email it to us.
Trademarked 1580 Fanatic.
Yeah, you can email him a copy or something.
Okay.
No?
No.
All right, well. Sorry, Apples.
Exclusive.
You're going to have to do what Randy and I did when we were kids. We waited till the song came on and we recorded it.
Yep.
The problem is you're going to have a hell of a time because we talked through the whole damn thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Killer Rabbit says, how big was or is Kyler's hands? Do we know?
9 3/4, I believe, is
Which
what I saw
means
yesterday.
it's probably 8 1/4. Mr. Pringle says, it's not just Marcus Smart, Keon. Don't sleep on Time Lord. He's a block party every event, every night.
Time Lord.
That's true. I'm just saying my personal favorite of the Celtics players, Marcus Smart, just because of how, he doesn't quit on any play. There's nothing. The ball is going out of bounds and Marcus Smart is looking like a college player, just throwing himself after the basketball. It's just fun.
Hefty Lefty says the egregious flops Marcus Smart does makes him more of a junkyard puppy. He's a very good defender, though. It's just frustrating because he doesn't need to flop to be effective.
He doesn't. He is. He's definitely. Maybe we should just make a list of just the best floppers or the most egregious floppers in the NBA because he's definitely up there.
You have a flopper bracket. The flopper bracket contest. See who the best flopper of all time is.
Early odds, Final Four, Marcus Smart. I would bet all of my money on it.
Ukla says, hi, Randy. Hi, Keon. Hi, Radio Pal. Can I change my name? I'd like to be. No, you can't be that, and I'm not reading it. Kiss the Cook says, just go all Clockwork Orange on Putin is what you ought to do. Well, if you can, he's like a Pokemon, if you can catch him. By the way, he says, if you want to see how fast they can really run during the combine, I'm not reading that, Kiss the Cook. Come on. Fed Fan says, hang in there, Keon. Just an hour and 38 minutes left. You get your sanity back. Do you count the time that way, Keon? To the end of this show?
No, not really. No, we just go segment by segment.
I don't know why everybody thinks Keon hates this. This is the most exciting part of his entire day.
That is correct.
I thought we were the most exciting part of a lot of people's days, Randy.
Well, that's what I thought too.
Just saying.
I don't know. I have fun on the show.
Big George says, I told you guys yesterday that some of this rain here in Carlsbad was coming your way. As Maui said in Moana, what can say
Really?
expect you're welcome?
What
can say expect? Don't quote Disney movies here, man. Lost Toby sent a picture of his workspace again for some reason. And he says, hey, he goes, oh, I've seen that porn, Chubby Rain featuring Stormy Daniels. No. Chubby Rain. It was a movie called it was a movie, a fake movie inside the movie Bowfinger. That's the name of the movie with Steve Martin, who plays a director who wants to get Eddie Murphy in his movie. The problem is he can't get Eddie Murphy to be in his movie. So what they do is they do it like they film behind the bushes and they just convince him that, that people run up to him and say their lines. And so he's in a movie and he hasn't given their permission. It's actually, watch the movie. It's actually very, very funny. Booger Wolf says, I am sick and tired of being straight up badass.
Why would you get tired of being straight up badass?
That just sounds like something you'd want to be constantly all the time, every day.
Hell, that's a curse the three of us have to live with every day.
Yeah. Well, you've lost a little badassness when you said go Niners. Maybe a little badass point your way, though, on go Masvidal. And then he says, what up, Salamander Commander? Well, now you've lost a lot of badass points.
Yeah.
Booger Wolf.
Yeah. Sorry, Booger Wolf.
Senior Wake and Bake says, I got an idea for a show starring me and Keon. We'll call it The Smoker. If you got him, less stress hour. Let's do it. Smoke him if you got him, less stress hour. Yeah, we'll get back to you on that, Senior Wake and Bake. Mr. Pringle says, I was mildly surprised the Suns moved on from Jalen Smith. Was that a money move?
No, I just think that they wanted a little bit more depth at their wing position, especially defensively. So you go Torrey Craig, and you've got enough big men. I think they like Jalen Smith, but between JaVale McGee and DeAndre Ayton, you want to get a little deeper at that guard spot there, especially for the playoffs.
Bob Swirsky's watching us on the YouTube live and says, hey, what happened there to Cecil's love doll there, Randy?
Well, that was deflated. It wasn't Cecil's love doll, but the yoga dog has been put away in the box for my grandchildren. So when they come back, it won't get ruined. That was by order of Miss Kim.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't even ask. Now we're all thinking. King Kitten says, I guess today's weather returns tomorrow, so that'll be nice. And then he sends me a bunch of stuff I don't understand. Thundersnow says, Doctor Who plays for the Celtics? No, there's a guy with the nickname Time Lord. Why do they call him that? Because he's so slow going up and down the court?
I don't know, actually.
Time Lord.
I'm going to Google that, actually. I didn't stop to ask why.
Big George says, I told you guys. Oh, I read that one. 888-368-1580. Forgive me. My text line is still having little weirdnesses because of the fact that they don't care about the programming anymore. 888-368-1580. All right. So let's take a look at the combine guys. Baylor's Tyquan Thornton, who had a 4.28 40-yard dash, the fastest receiver at the combine. And then there's Calvin Austin, who is also impressing people. He had a 4.32 on his dash, but all right. So now we're looking at these guys who are impressing with speed at that combine. And even another guy who looked pretty good, Ikem Ekwonu, who says he wouldn't be shocked if he went number 1 overall. Well, nice to have confidence and stuff. But as we look at
I
some
wouldn't
of
be
these,
shocked either, though, to be honest.
Okay.
Is he that edge rusher? He's that badass edge rusher?
I believe he's a lineman.
Offensive or?
Yeah, offensive lineman.
Okay.
So, all right. So as we see like the opening days of this combine and we see all the teams are down there looking at guys. So has there been any surprises? Do you see any kind of movement on your sort of back of the head mock draft you might have, or, okay, this guy for sure is going to go first, or, oh, look what this guy did. Now, you know that, okay, maybe that team over there can use him, because you're absolutely right earlier when you say Cardinals could use Colts could use some really good wide receivers. And I know there's some other teams out there too, but there is a glut of good wide receivers coming out of college in this draft. That is the position that you actually can hang around and not trade up for and still end up with some good quality, right, Keon?
Yeah. We mentioned Chris Olave from Ohio State earlier, but you got Drake London out there. He's a guy that's going to probably fall to the late first round. So yeah, there's plenty. Treylon Burks is a guy that I've seen him in mock drafts all over the place. I mean, I've seen him as high as top 10. I've seen him as low as bottom of the first, because there are so many different receivers that you kind of will just draft one based on what kind of receiver you need. If you need, a speedster, you might go more Olave, where you get a big frame guy like Treylon Burks and just a dude you could just throw the ball up to. And that's not even counting some of these dudes like George Pickens out of Georgia, who may be in the second round of the draft if you want to wait that long. There is an overabundance of wide receivers. Garrett Wilson is the other Ohio State receiver who did really well at the combine yesterday. So there are so many. If your team needs a wide receiver, and actually defensive back as well, there are a bunch of those dudes here as well, safety and corner. If you need one of those, this is absolutely the draft for that.
Saw a couple of pretty quick running backs today when I was kind of tuned in for a moment to the NFL Network. Any running backs that are of note? Because here's the thing: the Arizona Cardinals, I know, they could use a marquee running back. They've been doing stuff by a committee with Connor and Edmonds, kind of. It really is not a committee. It's whoever's hurt, the other guy plays, right? So I think, Randy, you guys could probably use a little help in that department as well.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the strategy has been. I mean, James Conner, it was a pleasant surprise for us. I mean, he came out and started just kind of power running, and then you had Chase Edmonds, who was kind of that scat back kind of guy. He cut back here, cut back there, really fast feet, can make great moves. I guess if you could find somebody that would. Somebody that could beat out Chase Edmonds. Sure. I kind of like what they're doing with James Conner right now. That power run game offsets the passing game pretty well. If you had somebody that was better than Chase Edmonds, then I suppose you could pick that up.
Let me offer somebody who's not in the draft, but there are rumors that they are looking to trade Saquon Barkley. And now, Steve Keim likes to take some injury-prone projects on, and he's had various success. I mean, we knew that J.J. Watt was going to be good for when he was good, but there would be a time we wouldn't have him. But you got James Conner, you got Chase Edmonds. How do you feel about maybe seeing the Cardinals get into the conversation to get Saquon Barkley?
Well, I don't want Saquon Barkley's damaged goods at this point, just like C2C. I think that both of those guys, although they were tremendous and electrifying in their time, they both just been kind of beat up by the NFL. I don't want them. I'll stand pat on that. I don't want to see Steve Keim bring in Saquon Barkley. I mean, it's a sexy name, but no.
So, Keon, is Randy overreacting to the injuries, or is that actually, probably a smart way to go?
Saquon is behind an offensive line that might be the worst offensive line in football, and I would think that maybe you could take that risk if your offensive line was better, and it is. It's much better than what the Giants have to offer. Also, Saquon's kind of the offense up there, like the consistent part of the offense. Daniel Jones, when he's good, he's really good, but when he's bad, he's throwing 4 interceptions in a game. So they rely on Saquon a lot to try and be the guy that keeps that offense moving, but that offensive line doesn't help him a ton. And I think that running backs also benefit from playing alongside mobile quarterbacks. The Ravens had a bunch of injuries at running back, and it didn't really matter. They just plugged another running back in there, and as long as Lamar was healthy, there are going to be lanes for you to go through. So you take a swing at a Saquon Barkley. I don't think that that's the most insane thing. And I think that if he's not having to carry a team behind an offensive line that garbage, he may actually be healthier. It may be a risk worth taking there. I do think so.
Keon talking you into it?
No.
I don't know. I tell you what. I
hear what he's saying, and probably what's going to happen is he's going to go to some team and just absolutely shred the record books. I get it,
and he's on the rookie deal too, so you're not going to be giving up cap space to get him.
Yeah, and even if you do, I mean, like he's got a $7 million, left in the contract, and what would you have to sign him up for if you wanted to extend him and continue? Like no more than 10, 15.
I mean, at presently, yeah. But if he comes here and has a breakout season, and he puts up 2,000 plus yards, shows that he's sturdy, he shows that he can run behind this offensive line. We provide options for him to run. We keep James Conner in there. Yeah, he's going to want bigger deal than that. Probably somewhere around the terms of Zeke Elliott.
Mr. Pringle says Time Lord was given that nickname for being late to his first day of being a Celtic, and Blissful Hayes repeats that. Oh, that's right. Now I remember that story. Hamilton Porter says it's like the Cards need a once-in-a-generation talent to fall into their lap, almost like they need Najee Harris or someone to be available in the draft, maybe.
Well, and that's the thing. Like maybe if you're,
I think he wasn't
he? I mean, was he available?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think he might have been available for the Cardinals, is what Hamilton Porter's
Look,
getting
man,
at.
Steve Keim does not draft well. He does not draft well. Period.
This is a deep running back class as well. It's basically deep everywhere but quarterback. It seems like. Because it's a deep running back class, and you're not going to draft a running back in the first round. So there will be players available in the second. Like the third ranked running back in this class is Kenneth Walker III out of Michigan State, and that dude led the nation in rushing.
All right. Well, I guess I'm just trying to give you ideas, Randy, for your Cardinals, and of course. I would give ideas for your Washington Commandos, but I feel like there's no hope. So, we got valuable airtime here. People pay to be sponsors for the show.
You're talking about this team like the Jaguars and the Texans don't exist. The Lions don't exist. Like no hope. I don't believe that there's no hope, but they need a quarterback. That's what I'm focused on.
I think you and I need to watch a game together.
Okay. They won what? They were 7-9. They lost and won roughly the same amount of games. So I don't know. Man, 7-10.
I've watched your heartbreak from a Twitter conversation. I kind of want to see it in person. All right, we're gonna take a break.
I don't know if I want to give you that satisfaction now.
When we come back, here's the stuff that's going to happen. We're going to talk more NFL in the next hour. It's Sports Betting 101 with Josh Applebaum going into the beginning of the championships for all your different divisions, all your different conferences. This is going to be very interesting to see what kind of input he has for us in the world of betting. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
Airlines have just reduced their prices even more. Book 30 days in advance and save big.
Want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets? Then call the Low Cost Airlines Travel Hotline right now. For prices so low, we can't publish them anywhere. The only way to access our low rates and save up to 70% is to call. Save hundreds on your vacation tickets by calling right now. You can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
802-341-4535, 802-341-4535, 802-341-4535. That's 802-341-4535.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard. Aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Dale Hellestray from my friends at Constructors Bonding. If you need bonds, you can put your trust in Arizona's industry leader for the best service, rates, terms, and capacity anywhere. Constructors Bonding is the #1 writer with 14 sureties and will improve your bond program. Call Dave McKee today to learn how Constructors Bonding will perform for you. 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 or visit cbialliance.com.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on 1580 99.3. The Fanatic, busy sports weekend here on the big flamethrower. So be listening. Jeffrey will give you all the details. Got lots to talk about. But I want to remind you that Saturday night's the big fight. It is Covington Masvidal. And I've already made my bet. The rivalry will happen Saturday night, and you could win $150 off a $5 bet if you're new to FanDuel. Just sign up at FanDuel Sportsbook using promo code Randy1580. Pick your fighter, and then get ready to win big. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. It's super quick to get started. You can withdraw your winnings in a snap. Don't miss your chance to cash in on one of the biggest fights of the season. Sign up at FanDuel Sportsbook using promo code Randy1580 today. That's Randy1580 to get that special 30-1 odds boost for this Covington Masvidal match this weekend. Remember, you've got to be 21 or older and present in Arizona. New users only. $10 first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bonus $150. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
All right. Thank you, Randy. 888-368-1580. And let's get to that text line, get caught up before we move on here. David Brad says, with the new combine, they run a 40, then they take 40 shots, followed up by getting 40 phone numbers. What? Senior Wake and Bake, he's still trying to get a show with Keon. He says,
busy now.
I'll speak cool and calm in one room, and Keon can be in the other dark room with the light bulb swinging as he angrily yells into the old school mic.
So that doesn't sound like a radio show that I want to be a part of now. I'm backing out.
No,
I'm backing out.
Wow, that was pretty cold.
Boy.
We didn't even pretend to even consider it.
Well, we're talking
plug
about
on
one room. I'm in a dark room with a swinging light. Come on now. That sounds like
a mood lighting to me.
Yeah.
If you think it's an interrogation, okay. I mean, whatever. Hefty Lefty says adding Sequads to Nuke would make quite the dynamic duo of nicknames.
Sequads.
Yeah. He has giant quads. So
Bob Schwersky says, hey, Randy, what do you think about Tariq Cohen there? He's a badass. I don't think the Bears are going to keep him.
I don't know. I don't know. It remains to be seen. We'll have to kind of wait and see where the cards fall. Keon, what do you think about Tariq Cohen? Do you think he stays?
Yeah, I think he does.
I mean, what are the Bears going to do? They can't screw it up too much worse, can they?
I mean, they're the Bears, so I mean,
the Bears can screw up anything.
Don't never say never with the Bears.
Dear Lord,
but you have to think that they make him a priority and he stays.
FedFan says ESPN showed that Cole Beasley's looking for a trade. Would that interest you, Randy?
Cole Beasley, that guy's got a lot of heart, but no,
hell no. He's 12. He's just as short as Kyler Murray, and he's got some interesting ideas about how to be a guy in the locker room.
And also, like, I didn't think the Cardinals really needed a slot receiver as a priority, because that's what you'd be doing. I mean, that's where he would be. I would think that having that big target to throw to when you're in the red zone, where they struggled when they weren't able to run the ball, they really struggled in the red zone. I think having that target would help a whole lot more.
888-368-1580. Swuzman says traffic heading back to Phoenix here on the I-17 feels like NASCAR with semi-trucks in between the race cars. Be careful up there, man, because you know how it is. One drop of water and everybody forgets how to drive.
Yep.
So here's another interesting tidbit there. Doug Peterson is now your new coach for the worst team in the NFL, the Jaguars. And, he's, kind of looking at stuff. He's evaluating. And I was telling people that he wants DJ Shark back. And, I mean, if he wants to come back. So why wouldn't he want DJ Shark? Has he been a bust? Is that guy just not lived up to his potential? Or do you feel like, of course you want DJ Shark back?
I think, of course, you want DJ Chark back. I mean, one of the strengths that the Jaguars have is that group of receivers. Chark's a part of that, and you've got him there and Laviska Shenault. You might want to get a little deeper at wide receiver, but like that's part of the team that's good. I would hope you'd want DJ Chark back.
All I know is I'm tired of the song. It's been like 5 years now, and there's no way that Shark is still a baby. It's got to stop every time.
It's Chark with a C.
I know, but every time they talk about him, they sing that he's stupid.
DJ Chark,
It's already
DJ Chark, DJ Chark, DJ Chark, DJ Chark.
It's coming up on my damn text line here. And now Randy's off and running. There's no stopping him.
He's got to do the whole song now.
Chark.
He doesn't have to, but he just does. I wish you wouldn't do that.
Wow, that's been a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm really regretting even bringing that up now. Hefty Lefty was singing along, so was Ukla the Mock, of course, and
naturally.
Fine. All right, so the Colts. Now, here's the thing, Frank Reich. Please, just better you don't talk at all. Okay, if you're going to say stupid crap, don't talk. Frank Reich came out last couple of days and said, "Oh no, the Colts are still in the process of evaluating Carson Wentz." What? What do you mean? What? What do you mean? What? He says, "I believe in Carson. I stuck my neck out for him." Yeah, you did, and you're dragging down Chris Ballard with you, Frank.
And Chris is not saying the same stuff that Frank's saying. So I feel like there are a couple of there are some voices in the room going back and forth, and Frank's voice is like, I can fix him. And Chris does not agree.
Ballard is like, so here, let me tell you my process. It does not involve a Bible study. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to evaluate the talent. And one of the intangibles is not whether or not he can quote scripture. Okay, Frank? We got to get somebody in here. Yeah, if they're Christian, great, no problem. Maybe somebody who can play. See, that's an idea. Let's work the idea, Frank. Work the idea, Frank, because you stuck your neck out for him and you stuck my neck out for him. Maybe it's time to be grown up and actually get a damn cornerback who can win a game.
I mean, I know that you're speaking as Chris Ballard, but it also sounded like you were speaking as Jeffrey Bryant.
And Jim Irsay. and every Colts fan. So don't talk. Don't tell me, oh, well, the Colts are still in the process of evaluating Carson Wentz. What are you evaluating? It's been done. We evaluated. We didn't make the playoffs, and we could have easily made the playoffs. Why? Well, I'm pretty sure we can point it all back to Carson Wentz. So evaluation complete, Frank. You are no longer allowed at the big boys table when you choose a quarterback.
So you're good with one and done then?
What do you mean? I was good
one and done with Carson Wentz.
I was good with none and done with Carson Wentz.
But you didn't have any say in it. They brought him in. He had a one season, and you're good with one and done. You're not even the slightest bit interested in what he can do in year two.
No, I'm really not. But here's the thing, though, and I said this the other day. We were evaluating the worst quarterback situations. If they go with him for one more year, it's still not the worst quarterback situation. I want to win. Randy, you want to win.
Yes, I do.
Keon, you just want to not put a paper bag over your head. All right. So when it looks at our teams,
I think he wants to win.
We don't want
to win,
just a mediocre to not completely embarrassing season. We want to win. This team's not going to win with Carson Wentz. It's just not going to happen. Your team wasn't going to win with Josh Rosen. Your team wasn't going to win with Taylor Heineke. There's a point where you already know it. Sometimes going in, but now you're on your way out of a season. You are not going to win with Carson Wentz.
So do you want them to draft someone?
Who? That's the problem. This is a horrible situation.
Okay, so now you're looking at free agency. So when do you get Teddy Bridgewater back?
Oh, well, we never had Teddy Bridgewater. We had Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett. Okay, sorry. I don't know why I keep getting those two guys mixed up.
Yeah, here's what
they're both career backups. That's why.
Is that what it is?
They're both career backups that have started way more games than they should.
Who are the Colts going to land right now? I mean,
Russell Wilson.
Well, I know.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
No.
You know what? They're not saying no. They're saying no, but not no.
Well, who do
there's
the
other
Colts
ideas.
Have?
I just think that
who do the Colts, other than Jonathan Taylor, who do the Colts have they can trade for Russell Wilson?
It's not we have so much cap space, which means we have so many different, let's say Matt Ryan would even be an idea for the Colts because they could absorb that hit easily. And, Matt Ryan has been a consistent quarterback for many, many years. He had a crap year last year, but even then, again, look at who he had. He was on the Falcons. So that would even be better, in my opinion, than Carson Wentz again. And I'm not completely convinced that Aaron Rodgers and Russ Wilson are off the table. You know what I'm saying? I'm not convinced that those are no-goes. And there's other stuff that is going to start to percolate, and there's other quarterbacks that might become available. Deshaun Watson might even be another name that if he gets clear of his legal issues, kind of feel like I don't want a dirtbag, but I'm just saying, I'm putting out the names of who might be available out there. And I'm not even mad if they say we're going to go with Carson Wentz another year because there's just nothing better else out there. Don't tell me you're still evaluating him. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's the part that I don't understand. We watched him play football for an entire NFL season.
How much more tape do you need?
It can't possibly more. And plus, we have the tape of him in Philadelphia too, when he completely melted down and then Jalen Hurts took his job. We've seen enough that Carson Wentz now is not the dude that was borderline an MVP before he hurt his knee. He's not the same quarterback, and there's nothing more to evaluate. There just isn't.
Lamach is laughing because I said Matty Ice might be a good idea. Yeah.
Well, but It's not an insane thing because Matt Ryan is behind one of the 5 worst offensive lines. I think the Giants have the worst one. The Falcons are very much down there, and Matt Ryan's not a mobile quarterback. So
what about the Jets, though?
The Jets are down there too. By
the way, I'm pretty sure we can make a deal for Gardner Minshew, Randy. Pretty sure we can get Gardner Minshew.
Well, I mean, nobody's talking about Gardner Minshew.
I'll take Gardner Minshew.
Quietly matriculating around in the background, floating out there with that Mississippi badass attitude of his, ready to come in and save some team with the legend that is Gardner Minshew.
Yes. Bring me Gardner Minshew and have ready as backup Ryan the Beard Fitzpatrick.
Hey,
I'm not even kidding right now. These are two guys who can go nuts given the opportunity. And how would you not have an opportunity if you have that Colts offensive line? And then, Colts, get yourself a couple of decent wide receivers in this offseason as well. Everything I just said there about Gardner Minshew, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and a wide receiver in the draft doesn't cost you hardly anything. And even if it costs you more than it should, we got the money. Just saying. All right, guys, that's it for hour 2. We got one more hour to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
8 presents Terrifying Jobs.
Bull Rider, take 2.
Today we're talking with Clifford Maxwell, a rodeo bullfighter. His job? Distract raging bulls from going after thrown rider. Cliff, this seems like a really terrifying job. Why do you do it?
I love protecting the bull riders when they get bucked up.
How big are these bulls?
12 to 2,200 pounds of pure muscle.
You're not cowed by any of this, obviously. Is there anything that scares you?
Yeah. Distracted drivers terrify me.
This message is brought to you by ADOT, the ABA, and this station.
Medical data brought to you from Summit Male Medical Center. Over half of the guys over the age of 45 have some type of erectile dysfunction. If you fall into this category, you are obviously not alone. Don't worry about it. Do something about it. Call Summit Male Medical at 480-398-1000. Let our Arizona licensed doctors and all male medical staff using FDA-approved medication help you enjoy your life again. We guarantee it. Low testosterone? Common signs are muscle loss, irritability, weight gain, decreased libido. Our testosterone therapy will turn you around. Discreet, professional, and we are successful. Don't let getting older get you down. Call today, 480-398-1000. That's 480-398-1000. Or go to summitmalemedical.com. What are you waiting for? Call today. 480-398-1000.
If you're rolling over your 401k to an IRA soon, but not sure if you want to go all in on this crazy market, here's what many retiring professionals are doing. How about a safe and secure IRA offering a contractually guaranteed 10% income bonus that grows 7% annually guaranteed? Your income can double in 10 years. Meanwhile, neither your principal nor your retirement income is ever subjected to a market downturn. Even if the market crashes by 50%, you get the 10% bonus. Your income keeps growing at 7%, and your principal may grow without losses uncapped. You go up with the index, never down, forward, never back. Get a 10% income bonus with a 7% contractually guaranteed growth rate. I compare over 1,200 annuities with a fiduciary duty and can help you retire and stay retired.
Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now. Visit IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona.
Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia
keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene.
You need to tune in
to AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3.
The Fanatic.
And always on at 1580thefanatic.com. KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. And I forgot to remind myself to tell you guys, we now have the details on our Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic Bracket Challenge contest.
Hey, no kidding. All right, here we go.
The grand prize will be $1,580. That's right, $1,580. Some other secondary, third, and fourth, and whatever prizes are kind of being worked on behind the scenes. But I can at least now tell you that is $1,580.
That's magnificent.
Next day or so, there will be a graphic and a link that will be put up at 1580 The Fanatic that'll help you find the CBS Sports bracket challenge that we have set up for the Fanatic and Harmon Solar. If you did it last year, then you probably already received an email letting you know that you got to get in there again. So it's easy for you if you've already done it, but if you need help, we'll make sure that there is a post on the front page of 1580 The Fanatic here very shortly. But I'm glad at least I can announce $1,580 to go to somebody who knows nothing about college basketball.
Yeah, well,
that's the way it always is.
Not necessarily true.
Always.
Not necessarily. We
I
got
don't
a
know
lot
who-
of players in this game in this bracket challenge. A lot of players.
I forgot who won last year.
I expect Keon to just sweep the damn boards with it.
He better sweep this thing, or else we're going to have to call into question his credibility on many things.
I think I'll do all right. I usually do okay, on bad years. So I had like a small group last year, 6 friends. I beat all of them. So I'm hoping.
Well,
So he
there's
basically
more
just carries over to this year.
Keon says, I don't have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you two. So that's his strategy for this.
Yeah. I go down early and often. So
I do know that I have 1 week and 2 days to figure out my bracket approach, my idea. I am still working that out, but Selection Sunday is next Sunday. It will be broadcast here on 1580 The Fanatic. We'll find out what the bracket's going to be. And then, of course, I think you have, what is it, just Monday? You have Monday to start to sort it. Or is it more? Because I think on Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm checking in here. Hold on.
well, the actual bracketed games don't happen until
First
midweek.
4. The first 4 happen Tuesday and Wednesday. Then you're right. Bracketed games start on March 17th. So on St. Patrick's Day. Absolutely. And by the way, March 17th is also the COVID anniversary for the Daily Blender. Yes.
Really?
Remember,
All right.
that was the day that we all said, oh, hell no, I ain't going to work. And we started doing everything remotely 2 years ago. Feels like longer, but
It does, yeah.
now we've started to trickle ourselves back into the office just in time for the horrific gas prices. Yeah.
Hey, all right.
It's great. Thank you, Putin. It's nice.
A friend of mine sent me a picture of gas prices in LA.
Oh, Jesus.
I almost fainted. It's like $6.71 a gallon.
Well, I think it was funny because that is just a California thing. It's not even a reality thing. And old Jeff Bloom from our sister station there, he posts up a picture and it was like gas prices was like $3.50 or something. He's like, thanks a lot, Biden. I'm like, you realize that Biden doesn't control gas prices. That is the Republicans who own the oil companies who are doing it just to make him look bad. But as soon as somebody's up for office that might be a Republican, you see the gas prices go down. But pat, go on your way. Both sides are bastards, and all I care about is making sure that I get a good bracket this year. Okay, so don't talk to me about gas prices. Why are we talking about gas prices?
I don't know.
That might have been me. 888-368-1580. So anyways, yeah. Oh, COVID anniversary. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's how we got.
Happy COVID anniversary. So let's go to the text line, get caught up a little bit. We got a little more NFL to talk about very soon. Josh Applebaum from the Beeson Network is going to be helping us out with Sports Betting 101. The professor will be in about 10 minutes. And okay, I'm taking a lot of abuse on the text line because of what I said about my Colts. So now here comes all the tired old texts about who should be my quarterback. Blissful Hayes says Carson Wentz deserves a $50 million year-long term deal with the Colts. Shut up. Big George says, I want DJ Shark to come to the Cardinals just so Randy can sing that song every day. No, okay, I'll quit the show. I'll quit the show right then. Minute that deal is done, I'll have it pre-typed. Signature on the resignation right there. Lost Toby says, I pumped $6 in California 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I think it's $3.99 at the Quick Trip out here. But funny thing is, you guys realize the scam is in. You see how the prices go up immediately before the actual supply chain is even affected? It's all a scam, man. The oil companies raise gas prices on a wisp of an idea just so they can get more money out of it.
Yeah.
Should be considered criminal. Hefty Lefty sends me a picture. It's been 84 years. It's got the lady from Titanic. I think he's talking about since we've done our last remote. Jagdog says Matt Ryan is due $48 million a year this year, Jeffrey. I know he's due that. I know he is. And I know I've got the money if I'm the Colts. We got the money. All we need is a quarterback and draft a wide receiver. We can make this happen if we want. So what should I want more, Keon? Matt Ryan or the combo of Ryan Fitzpatrick and Gardner Minshew?
Well, I think you want the combo of Minshew and Fitzpatrick just because you can.
How fun would that be?
A, it would be absolutely fun. B, can you imagine those two guys in press conferences? My God. Anyway, you also want.
Always have them sitting side by side.
Of course, you have to. The mullet and the beard next to each other, please.
That sounds like a crime drama duo. The mullet and the beard on TNT.
I'd watch that show.
We know Harry drama,
but also you could get some depth at other positions because they're not going to cost you a whole hell of a lot.
Boogie says, "What's more criminal, gas prices right now, or paying Carson Wentz like a starting quarterback in the NFL?" Carson Wentz getting, yeah, that's probably more. Ukla says, "Well, maybe the Colts can get Matty Ice. They've already gone through every other loser quarterback." Yeah, but I think Matty Ice still it could be a decent enough quarterback if he had a chance. You know, I look at him as a very stable version of kind of the way I was seeing Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston doesn't have the chops. I thought maybe he had the eye surgery. He'd go out there because he could throw for a bazillion yards before. So I thought, well, maybe this will be the thing that gets him right. No.
He's too much of a gunslinger. I mean, that's really what it is. He'll throw 17 perfect passes, perfect accuracy, perfect location, and that 18th pass is a what the bleep that you'll never understand.
Good Cat says, I would take Minshew on our Colts in a hot second. See, I mean, how fun. And then listen, then you just sort of have some fun. Maybe you don't get to the playoffs. Maybe you do. What a great story that would be, right? And then you get to the draft next year, and there's some quarterbacks that might be actually worth going after. That's all I can hope. Booger Wolf says, one of these days I'm going to post up Keon in the paint. I'm going to posterize. Better yet, billboard that fool on the court.
Okay.
You can dunk, Booger Wolf? Because that's what you'd have to do to posterize somebody.
That's what,
Are we doing this on the like the first graders hoop? Or are you going to do it on a grown-up hoop? Seriously, I want to know if Booger Wolf can dunk. I can dunk on the little kids hoop.
Yeah,
I can do
we
that.
all can.
Yeah. Well, it's more impressive because I'm old. Hamilton Porter says Randy with Baby Shark is like Catman with Come Sail Away. Oh, Cartman with Come Sail Away. Haven't seen that episode. Blissful Hayes says maybe the Colts should give Mitch Trubisky a chance. See, now he's just being a jerk. Raven Kid says, I don't know. I think Matt Corral screams Colts quarterback. Is he being a wise ass?
No,
I'm not familiar.
No, Matt Corral is one of the quarterbacks in the draft, and he's one of the top prospects.
Which means he'll be gone by time because Colts don't have a first round pick.
Yeah, Matt Corral's not making it to the second round.
And I don't think we're in a very good position in a second round pick. So if that guy is going to go early in the second, then forget it, right?
Yeah. If where the Colts are taking, the Colts might be able to get Desmond Ridder. Maybe. I don't even think he's going to fall that far. But yeah, I certainly don't think that they'll be able to get Matt Corral. You'd have to trade up to get him. And do you want to? None of these quarterbacks is a slam dunk. And
yeah.
I think that there's a lot of upside to all of them, that it's worth the risk drafting them, but not if you have to trade up and go get them.
Bob Swirsky says, "Hey Jeffrey, would you take a flyer on Jimmy Garoppolo maybe for a 3rd round pick?" No, I wouldn't. No, I'd rather again have Gardner Minshew and Ryan Fitzpatrick than Jimmy Garoppolo. Not a chance. Am I insane? I feel like I'm onto something here.
Maybe with the Ryan Fitzpatrick thing.
What is a backup?
He hasn't played all year.
He's been hurt. He got hurt. It doesn't mean he can't play. I mean, give him some time to recover.
Yeah, if you were saying him as a starter, that'd be a little crazy. But him as a backup,
Gardner Minshew.
I like Ryan Fitzpatrick as a backup. Yeah.
Boogie says, if I was a Colts fan, and I'm not, I would want Fitzpatrick on my team and completely unleash Taylor and Fitzpatrick and go for broke. Might not work, but it'd be a hell of a fun season. Who's this Taylor you speak of? We're talking about
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, I thought you were talking. I was thinking quarterback. I still want Gardner Minshew. Raven Kid says, I'm calling it now. Desmond Ridder. He's going to be the best quarterback in this draft.
You could make that argument for about 5 or 6 guys in this draft. But Ridder is a winner. Well, we saw what he did. He got Cincinnati into the college football playoff from a small conference. And the dude throws a beautiful deep ball. He's also mobile as all get out. I like him, but I think that a lot of the NFL teams are a little cold on his accuracy. So he's going to fall to the 2nd, maybe late 1st.
Ukla says maybe Colts should trade for Dr. Jordan Love. Shut up. Big George says, is it a contract year? If so, Ryan Fitzpatrick, your man. Doesn't he text into the show too? Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick, if you're listening, make some calls to the Colts. Get on Ballard's good side. And if you want to get on Fitzpatrick's good side, well, I think Fitzpatrick might be Mormon. So quote some scripture and stuff. You'll be fine. You'll be right in there. By the way, the T.Y. Hilton told my Colts that he wants to keep playing. Should they care?
Yeah, they should care, but he can't be wide receiver 1 anymore. That's where I'm deeply concerned there. He's lost the step. I mean, when he was burning people early in his career, I enjoyed watching that guy, but he can't be for wide receiver 1. Just can't.
I think it would be a situation like Larry was in where they're gonna have to move him around.
You know, T.Y. Hilton is going to be mad at anybody on this planet. It should be Andrew Luck, because he still had some prime T.Y. Hilton in him when Andrew Luck walked off the field. T.Y. Hilton then had to suffer a year of Jacoby Brissett, followed by a year of Phil Rivers, followed by a year of Carson Wentz, and now he's towards the end. So T.Y. Hilton's best shot walked off the field in preseason, and that's just that's a tragedy for T.Y. Hilton right there. Raven Kid says, I think the top 5 quarterbacks in this draft are really close, and Ridder stands out with his winning and his mobility.
That's true. Like I said, you could make an argument for just about all of these guys because there isn't any one head and shoulders above the rest obvious dude that's better. Malik Willis, I think, also kind of is in that same vein with the mobility and the winning, quite frankly. He was at Liberty University, and they were awesome. But he's more raw. I think Ridder's more polished. But I think he's going to be that guy that maybe we look back on this draft and go, he got overlooked.
Shagdog says, how big is Ridder's hands, Keon?
I mean, I have to look that up. I don't know off the top of my head. I didn't keep track of all the hand measurements.
I think I'm going to start making people measure their hands before they work for us. Anytime I'm sitting there interviewing somebody, I'll slide a ruler across the table, and I'm like, you know what to do. If they start to unzip their pants, I show them the door. If they put their hand on the ruler, now we're going to know who's going to fumble, who's not going to fumble.
There you go. Desmond Ridder, by the way, 10-inch hands. Hands.
Good Cat says T.Y. Hilton should sign to the injury reserve team. There's no such thing as an injury reserve team. It's called the practice squad. Wilbur says, Jeffrey, how does your 6.5-inch hand compare with Carson Wentz? Actually, mine is 9 3/4 when I measured it. And I'm happy to measure it again in full view of anybody who wants me to. But again, it's not the size of the hand. Look, Joe Burrow with a smaller hand than me is an NFL quarterback, and I'm not. So size of hand doesn't mean anything except for when it comes to the fumbling statistically and stuff like that. So Hefty Lefty is just now sending random pictures. Senior Wake and Bake says, slap some pads on Keon. Give him a chance. Couldn't be worse than what you have already. Can you throw the ball, Keon?
Yeah.
How far?
Pretty well. I don't know. I haven't thrown a football in ages. I don't know. Last time I threw it, it was 35 yards, 40 yards.
Yeah. When I was 16, I could throw a football 60 yards. And then it was like, okay, the coach was like, okay, how about accurately now? I'm like, no, you've asked too much. I'll just keep running the ball. Thank you. Because I was like, hey, coach, I can be the quarterback. Watch this. And he's like, okay, now how about to a guy? Move a little closer. No.
I like playing wide receiver growing up. So the quarterback's not my position.
Dropping the Soap says, hey, Jeffrey, the question is, were you fully excited when you measured your hand? Hey, that's a good point. It was cold in that studio when I measured my hand. So I might actually be bigger than 9 3/4.
I don't think hand
shrinkage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hefty Lefty says, not true. The injury reserve team is called the Lakers. Nice. Big George says, very nice, Jeffrey. 9 3/4 hand is impressive. Hey, Big George, the people were, I don't know if you were listening at the time. They were all curious about your hand measurement. Now, the measurement is from the tip of your pinky to the tip of the thumb, stretched out and extended, as you can see what I'm doing here on the YouTube right here. So if you got a minute to measure your hand, just want to make that clear, then, yeah, I'd love to know the stats.
It's Big George. I don't think he's going to go all nasty George on us.
I'm just being careful.
He's a married man. He's got a young son.
I don't want there to be any misunderstandings. Okay? Want to avoid the misunderstandings. I think Mac Jones had a misunderstanding. Mac Jones, I guess, he came into a job. The last guy who had it was very health conscious. Tom Brady, TB12, avocado, everything. Never got the drive-through for fast food. Winchell's in the car. Whatever happened, he was healthy and focused on making sure his body, his engine was running perfectly. Mac Jones is like, I'm just going to cut back on ice cream. They said, how are you going to prepare for the 2022 season? He says, I like ice cream too much. I'm just going to limit it, try to eat healthy, like we do with the Patriots every day. They give us great food over there. I just got to talk to Ted Harper, our nutritionist, and see if we're on the same page, less ice cream.
Yeah. Mac Jones is the person who at his pro day took his shirt off, and every agent in the world was like, why did you do that?
Put it back on. Put it back.
Please.
It's not like DK Metcalf when he took off his shirt, meeting Pete Carroll, and Pete Carroll took off his shirt and says, Mac Jones would be like, no. That'll haunt my nightmares and my dreams. You've messed up my sleep.
He looked like just any of us average dudes. If you thought that guy was going to be a top 10 quarterback of the draft, you wouldn't have guessed it was Mac Jones.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have guessed it was Tom Brady that would be what he was.
That's true. We have the Tom Brady pictures at his combine.
Yeah, yeah.
Who had the burst body, Tom Brady or Mac Jones? Mac Jones is a doughy son bitch.
Yeah, I was going to say Mac because
Tom Brady was just sort of sloppy looking. Mac Jones
is sporting a muffin top for some reason.
Mac Jones is like, we know Mac stands for mac and cheese every day. You're not supposed to eat the mac and cheese every day.
There's the reason they call him Big Mac.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we've got Sports Betting 101 with Professor Josh Applebaum. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
Pac-12 basketball coming up tomorrow. It is the end of the regular season. Arizona and Arizona State will both be in action. Number 2, Arizona hosting Cal. Arizona State hosting Stanford. The rest of the Pac-12 schedule tomorrow. Oregon at Washington State. Oregon State at Washington. Colorado at Utah. And the big one in the league tomorrow has number 16 USC playing at number 17 UCLA. NBA basketball tonight. The Suns at home against the Knicks. Phoenix, a 6.5-point favorite. Over under at 222.5. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz. What future NBA coach started for the Chicago Bulls in their first 10 season openers? The answers coming up on the Daily Sports Quiz.
Nick LaCapria's Daily Sports Quiz brings you a different question from the world of sports each day. If you want even more questions from the world of sports, visit Nick LaCapria's new website, sportstrivia.org. You can test your sports trivia knowledge and get answers to some great questions from the world of sports trivia. Sportstrivia.org. It's free, it's fun, and it's challenging. If you like the Daily Sports Quiz, you'll love sportstrivia.org.
The answer to today's Daily Sports Quiz: name the future NBA coach that played for the Chicago Bulls in their first 10 season openers. The legendary Jerry Sloan. He played for Dick Motta. Jerry Sloan, today's answer on the Daily Sports Quiz.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com. Without education, poverty follows a family one generation after the next. But College Bound AZ provides educational pathway to students starting in the 7th grade and turns dreams into degrees. Your support provides laptops and other things to ignite that journey. To help, Chicago Fest West happens Saturday, March 19th at Mesa Convention Center, and the proceeds benefit College Bound AZ. It's a celebration of Chicago during Cubs spring training through music, food, a classic car show, and more. Get your tickets at ChicagoFestWest.com today.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard, aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
We just can't help it. We have to do it. It's in our DNA. At 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, we have to bring you the most epic moments in sports.
NCAA football, NASCAR racing, Arizona Raiders football, golf's biggest interest, March Madness, NFL playoffs, the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we can't help it. We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and boy, do we have a bunch of basketball games for you to watch. These are going to be good ones because it's championship time. Sunday, we get the Big South Championship. We got the Missouri Valley Championship. Then later on that night, we got the Women's Pac-12 Championship. Monday, we got the Southern Conference Championship. I could go on and on and on because the schedule goes on and on and on here at 1580 The Fanatic. We're your home for the NCAA March Madness. It's not just the tournament. It's a bunch of the games leading up to the tournament. So to help us sort through some of the madness when it comes to sports betting for these games and, of course, the tournament itself, we have with us now Josh Applebaum. He's the host of Betting Across America. It's on Saturdays, 11 a.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. He's also the host of the Market Insights podcast and, of course, author of, as I'm holding up here for you to see, the Everything Guide to Sports Betting. You can find that on Amazon, and it's at a very, it's a great price. I'll tell you what, this Josh, this book has already saved me stupid tax, meaning the stuff I have learned has saved me from doing really dumb things that I would have been all the way through my $100 by now. You know what I'm saying? So thank you very much for this.
Well, thank you as always for being my hype man over there and letting everybody know about my book. And really, guys, you know, it's great to be with you tonight. And when I wrote the book, it was from the perspective of, hey, what do I wish things that people told me when I first started betting on sports? So kind of wrote it from the angle of, hey, you're a newbie. What are the kind of, you know, things to avoid, things to be aware of? You know, one big thing is not betting based on favoritism and bias. Like, you know, I'm a huge Red Sox fan, Celtics fan, Bruins, Patriots, but you never want to bet on your team just because they're your team. You really want to look at betting from a data-driven angle of looking at, hey, you know, where did the line open? How did it move? Where's the public? Where's the smart money? So just little things like that. And of course, when you're down, don't chase. When you're struggling, don't try to, get it all back in one fell swoop. Stick to your bankroll management, make a case for betting a game, and just grind that mentality moving forward. And again, these are things that I wish people told me when I first started betting on sports.
All right, well, let me make a case, and you can grade me, Professor, on something that happened earlier this week. I feel like I did all the right things, but I didn't win the bet. But I felt pretty smart and good about my thinking. So you can give me a grade on the following. I'm going to tell you a quick story. So I'm chatting with the station owner there, and by chatting, listening carefully as he yells at me. And he says to me, he's like, "Oh, you heard Devin Booker is not going to be in. He's in the COVID protocol." And I looked over and they're playing the Portland Trailblazers. And I thought, okay, normally no chance in hell. But now no CP3, no Devin Booker. And I thought, ooh, I was going to run over there because I also was trying to not look like I was placing a bet. And I reach over and I go, and I hit the money line. I bet $3 because, again, following your directions on the percentage of how much you should bet of your big pile of money. And I bet the money line for the Trailblazers, which would have got me a nice little chunk of money back. Of course, I wasn't upset to find out the next day that the Suns won because I am a Suns fan, but I didn't get emotional. I bet on the other team based on what I thought was pretty good information that gave the Blazers a good shot of winning that game. I was really wrong. They got blown out by 30 points, but I still felt like, okay, I only did $3, so it's not the end of the world. I thought that was a pretty good idea. Okay, it wasn't. And my team won, so I still win-win. All right, so based on those things I just told you, grade my bet.
So I would give your bet a B+. So number one, I would say, of course, we talked about this on last week's appearance. Don't just automatically think a bet is good because you win or bad because you lose. Really, the way to grade these bets are closing line value, which we hit on. So again, if you bet a team -3, they close -4, you beat the closing line. Regardless of the outcome, you made a smart bet. I would also say, props to you for not just blindly betting your team. You love the Suns, but don't bet on them just because they're your team. That's something that, we just kind of mentioned. And really, looking at, looking at injuries, the NBA is a big injury-based sport. Like when there's a big star player out and you can be glued to Twitter and jump on the line before it moves, that's where you can really make some money in general. So, and the other thing is, when you bet on sports, this is the thing that no one wants to tell you, you're going to lose a lot. And there's a case to be made for wanting to get your losses out of the way at an early stage. Like, I think, even though you lost that bet going against your Suns, you learned a ton. You learned about, line movement based on injuries, when to get the right number. You took your favoritism out of it. So guys, to me, when you're at the beginning, when you lose your bets, you learn way more about yourself and you make sure that, hey, I lost this bet, but next time it comes around in a specific situation, and all pretty much games, guys, there's a million different games, but there are a lot of games that almost deja vu in terms of line movement and situations. You'll learn next time that comes around to maybe go the other way or maybe lay off. So I'll give you a B+, my man. You're really going in the right direction. I'm proud of you.
Well, I appreciate that. And then I was telling my wife, I said, I think I'm going to regret the bets I don't make more than some of the bets I do make, because then the next day, a listener on the text line says, well, I got a pretty good feeling about these Coyotes versus the Avalanche. And says, I really think you should bet them. And I'm like, yeah, no. I mean, I know they beat the Avalanche once before, but, I'm looking at these two teams. This is not about even favoritism of the Coyotes. It's more about, yeah, that first one was more likely a fluke than not. And then, of course, the Coyotes beat the Avalanche, and I would have made a nice deal of money there if I had. I regret not making that bet. I don't regret making the losing bet.
Yeah, and I think to your point, this is it's constant with bettors. It's all about, being a decision maker. It's always about not just the bets that you decide to fire on and hopefully you win, but the ones that you don't bet that you kick yourself and you say, man, I should have played that. But I would say also, it's always okay to not bet a game. Don't have action on a game just because you're bored or there's nothing else to do or everyone's betting it. You feel like you got to join in. Make a case for a game and really make sure that, you're betting for a specific reason. And again, kind of, getting some of those losses out of the way and learning from them. To me, that's the best way to grow as a bettor.
Big George is on the text line, says he's got a question for Josh Applebaum, and he says ASU men's basketball is in fuego right now. Do you think they have a chance at winning the Pac-12 tournament? ASU's plus 5,000, so if I just bet $1 or 2,000, that return would be pretty nice.
So I would say, yeah, Arizona State really been hot recently. You know, based on the odds in the futures, though, plus 5,000, they're kind of telling you it's pretty unlikely. So, yeah, I think, you know, in terms of a payout, you know, obviously you would love to hit that and cash it. But I would look more toward, if you're looking for a bet, the ACC. I talked about this on Betting Across America today, but the ACC tournament, Duke is by far and away the favorite, but they're only minus 135. And if you look at what I like to look at advanced analytics, Ken Pomeroy is known within the industry of having really good numbers and actionable data. He has Duke as the 5th best team in the country, and everyone else in the ACC tournament, there's no one even in the top 30. And at minus 135, that's a bet that I would make on Duke to win the ACC tournament. But hey, for your guy tuning in, I hope he catches Arizona State. That'd be a heck of a hit.
Hefty Lefty says, being a lifelong Laker fan, betting against them this year has been very good for my bankroll.
It definitely has.
I imagine the odds are not very good in that as they maybe would have been before. They're a mess. This is Josh Applebaum, and he is our professor for Sports Betting 101, host of Betting Across America Saturdays at 11 a.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. Randy White, you have a question there?
Yes, I just want to know, Josh, you got any play on the big fight this weekend, Masvidal Covington, and if so, who you putting your money on?
Yeah, so I'm glad we're hitting on this, Randy, and really great card for tomorrow. So I have a very rudimentary model when it comes to UFC, which I call it fighting, because every time they announce the guys, they say fighting like in the left corner or the right corner, but it sounds like fighting. And me and my friends always call it fighting, so it's just kind of this random thing. But anyway, I really got into UFC during the pandemic because there's really nothing else to bet on, and I came up with a very simple model. I'm looking for fighters who are younger, taller, have a longer reach, and have a line move in their favor. And at VSiN, we have a couple of great guys who do UFC, Reed Kuhn and Gamble and Lou Finicaro. But to answer your question, really interesting bet split with Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal. At BetMGM, Masvidal is getting 87% of tickets. But here's the thing. He opened as a plus 280 dog. He's pretty much still plus 280. Everybody is on Masvidal. I get it. It's a big payout. He's a big flashy character. Going in jets and fancy clothes and kind of a McGregor type steez to him. But I'm on Covington, guys. Covington is a minus 370 favorite. It's a big number, but he's only getting 13% of tickets. And even though you're getting 87% of bets on Masvidal, which makes him a trendy dog, the line really isn't moving toward Masvidal. So this reminds me a lot of, if you guys remember, when Floyd Mayweather fought Conor McGregor, and everybody and their mother was on McGregor at a big, juicy dog payout. But even though he was getting all the tickets, really the money and the line movement was toward Mayweather, who ended up rolling in that fight. So it's a big number on Covington, minus 350. What I would recommend is, I'm sweating Covington. That's my play, a really contrarian favorite, and everyone's on Masvidal, so I want to be on the other side. But here's the thing. At such a high number, it's a bet to risk, not bet to win. What that means is I'm not risking 3.5 units to win 1 unit on Covington. I'm risking my 1 unit like it is for any other play, trying to get a little less than a third of a unit back. But guys, everybody on Masvidal. Covington looks really sharp to me, a contrarian favorite.
There you go. I was on Covington just because I was like, I think that dude's going to win. So we were talking earlier about the combine, everybody running 40s and what that does or does not mean. But the even odder one is the Kenny Pickett hand size thing, which did make us all run and measure our own hands to see how good a quarterback we might be. But, we saw Joe Burrow has a 9-inch hand, and now Kenny Pickett has I believe it was 8.5 inches.
8.5, yeah.
Right. So what does this do for him in the draft? Maybe even being drafted first. What are the odds on him? Have they gone another direction? Have they gotten worse? Has it even mattered?
Yeah. So first off, guys, small hands, small gloves. We all know this. It's very important. But I would just say this is really intriguing. It's kind of funny. We poke fun at it, but it has betting implications. So as you mentioned, Kenny Pickett, stud there at Pitt. He's actually a little bit older. I think he's 24 years old, which could be held against him, going into the pros anyway. But yeah, measuring 8.5 inches, that's the smallest hand size of any NFL quarterback in the NFL now. And really, if you go back 10, 15 years. So it's a huge extreme aberration And we have seen odds movement here based on that hand size, because you get to the extremes of, a guy who runs a really fast 40 or a slow 40 or hand size, these measurables that these NFL teams fixate on. What this caused is a big drop in Pickett's odds to be first quarterback selected. So he actually, before the combine, was a -120 favorite. Now he's +150. So he's becoming more of a long shot, no longer the favorite. So to me, guys, if you're looking at a prop bet to take advantage of this hand size thing, it's bet on Malik Willis, the quarterback of Liberty. He's a guy who really turned on, had a great Senior Bowl. He's been really good measurables at the combine. He's kind of a Michael Vick, right-handed Vick, like he runs and throws. You're hearing a lot of buzz about Malik Willis. So I would bet, and I actually did bet, Malik Willis +110 to be the first quarterback selected. You may not have that number anymore just based on this news with Pickett's small hands, but guys, give me Malik Willis. When the draft comes around, hopefully that he goes first quarterback selected. That's my play. Bet against Pickett's small hands, bet on Malik Willis's intangibles and his measurables.
All right. Well, that is good insight. Yeah, go ahead. Keon's got a question now.
Josh, do you think that another quarterback might even pass Pickett because of the hand size? Matt Corral or any of these other names that we're seeing out there?
Yeah, it's a great question, Keon. So I think it's possible. I mean, I don't think Pickett will slide too much. We're making this big deal about his hands. It is important, but you got to look at the teams who need a quarterback and where they play. Like, for example, if you're a cold weather team, like I'm in New England and, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they need a quarterback. But are you going to, draft Pickett too high for a team that, plays in bad weather? You think of a quarterback in bad weather, snow, sleet, all the elements. Big hand size is really important. So map out, what teams need a quarterback and when he could be drafted. Like I like Willis going 1 overall. I bet it myself. But I would say if Pickett is available at, I think, 18 to the Saints and they play in a dome and really the hand size won't be that big of a difference, I could see that being an opportunity there. But to your point, Pickett is still the second best odds. Keep an eye out, though, for Sam Howell. Sam Howell is a guy who actually has, I believe, better odds than being drafted first over Corral. So Corral, there's questions about how small he is and he turned the ball over a bit. Sam Howell had great numbers, I think, his last year at UNC. Last year, not as much. But you actually could see, I still think Pickett is number 2, long story short. But don't be surprised if actually Sam Howell goes before Corral.
Well, that is Josh Applebaum, Professor Applebaum here for Sports Betting 101. He's the host of Betting Across America, Saturdays, 11 a.m. here on 1580 Fanatic. And, of course, you can get his book, The Everything Guide to Sports Betting, on Amazon. So, all right, closing thoughts here, Professor, at the end of today's class. Anything else you want to add as we go into this weekend?
So I'm pretty excited about this biting card in the UFC. I'll give you one more bet, guys. Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell is fighting Edson Barboza. Another really big data play for me. Number one, I like younger fighters. I want to fade fighters who are 35 or older. Mitchell is 27. Barboza is 36. But also, really sharp line move to Bryce Mitchell. Open -150. He's been steamed up to -175. He's only taking 38% of bets, but he's taking 57% of money. This would be your younger fighter, line move fighter, low bets, higher dollars. Give me Bryce Mitchell as another bet here in the UFC tomorrow.
See, Randy, he fades the older fighter, which means Magnum PI would have clearly beaten Jim Rockford in a fight.
Yeah, that's not true.
Josh Applebaum just said it right here.
I'm sorry.
All right, so Applebaum, all right, tell us. Magnum PI versus
Alex
Jim Rockford, who
and
wins?
Applebaum, if he says,
Give him a chance to talk, Randy.
All right.
So I'll be honest with you guys. This is me as a millennial. I've never seen Magnum PI. But
All right, get off my phone. Just shut up. Get off my phone. Get off my phone. Just get off my phone. I'm just so disgusted right now. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. We'll see you next week. Josh Applebaum. Thanks, man. Just so
appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Hurt and disappointed. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back with On This Date in Big Georgia sports history. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Without education, poverty follows a family one generation after the next. But College Bound AZ provides educational pathway to students starting in the 7th grade and turns dreams into degrees. Your support provides laptops and other things to ignite that journey. To help, Chicago Fest West happens Saturday, March 19th at Mesa Convention Center, and the proceeds benefit College Bound AZ. It's a celebration of Chicago during Cubs spring training through music, food, a classic car show, and more. Get your tickets at ChicagoFestWest.com today.
Contractors, are you missing out on jobs due to lack of bonding? When your current bonding holds you back, call Arizona's #1 bond managers at Constructors Bonding. They have the market relationships and expertise to take you where you want to go. Serving all types of contractors of any size, licensed in all states. When you need better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding, 602-432-5929, or visit CBIalliance.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
Doug. Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emo wearing sunglasses.
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 Liberty.
It's time to spread game. The Harlem Globetrotters are coming with an all-new tour. 4 quarters of big plays, ankle-breaking moves, and ball-handling wizardry. Do they dunk? Do they dunk? See the stars rattle the rim in the all-new in-game dunk contest. This is the team everyone can cheer for. The Spread Game Tour is coming. Playing in Phoenix and Glendale on March 5th and 6th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
It's David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I have an emergency man card session that must be brought to order. I need a consultation because I don't remember my original finding.
Your original finding?
Yeah, let me explain. Lost Toby had sent over a picture of himself sitting there on the computer. And I don't know what the hell you're doing there, buddy. And then he says that he was reviewing and screening 77 applicants for one position that I guess he's hiring for his company. And he's like, yeah, pour me a double, Randy. I'm going to have to work through the weekend there. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's what he was trying to show me on this picture. So there he is. He's just kind of sitting there in his lounger there, and he's got his computer there on his lap. He's sent us before. He's got one computer for work, and he's got another one for the blender. He watches this on the YouTube. And then I'm like, this dude's wearing Crocs.
Uh-oh.
This dude's wearing a brown pair of Crocs right there.
Uh-oh.
And I can't remember what my determination was in regards to men wearing Crocs.
Yeah, it's a Blender emergency man card meeting.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I had said it's not a man card violation. It's just not manly.
I concur with that. That's what I remember. Yeah.
Is that what I said? Because I actually, you want to hear something messed up?
Sure.
Anyway, you guys gather around. So remember when I had the whole kerfuffle with the curling people?
The curling, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I guess it's got to be 10 years ago. Remember I told you about the friend of mine who was kind of dying and suffering from a disease, but she's kicking its ass. She's still living
kicking
life.
ass. Okay. Yeah.
And the next day, I'm just like, it was the next day, my memory thing on Facebook came up where I had said on there, because I was so impressed with her because she's fighting this illness. And it's the same illness that Bob Saget used to do a lot of stuff for. The RSD, or I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, whatever. So I'm like, okay, there's a memory came up, and then there's her and her husband, and she's got like the oxygen tank and the curling and stuff. And I said, in honor of my friend Lucille, I am declaring curling not a man card violation.
Okay.
And I'm declaring it a sport.
Wow, you did that. Wow.
Huh? That was like 10 years ago.
Mm.
And I don't think she listens daily. So that was just me being nice. I still stand by the fact that curling is not a sport.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right.
At one time, though, I declared it was.
Okay. Well,
the point I'm trying to make here is occasionally I won't remember how I ruled on something.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you, Randy, for remembering.
I seem to remember it's goofy as hell, but it's not a man card.
Not a good look.
Yeah, it's not a man card violation. Yeah.
I hate Crocs on everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, this is bad. It's bad. It's bad. Lost Toby says the Crocs are my drinking shoes. There's holes in them. How could you possibly drink from them?
Well, in case he gets so inebriated that he excretes bodily fluids, they just go right through the holes.
Oh, that like the drain at the bottom of the floor. Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Hefty Lefty, who must be a Croc wearer, says worrying about what shoes a guy is wearing in itself is not manly. I'll have you know, Hefty Lefty, it was brought to me as a man card question in the past. I just could not remember how I ruled on it. So there. Mars Bars 805 says, hey, can I get a weather update, Randy? Go Duke, go Knicks, and I'll take an 805 too, please.
I mean, here's your 805. But I already did a weather update.
And your Knicks are in trouble tonight.
Yeah,
it's true.
My Knicks are
not your Knicks. His Knicks.
Why are you sending me pictures of Magnum King of Kittens? I don't know why you're doing this. And why is it a picture of Magnum on the phone on the beach? Just don't. I don't know why you're showing me this. And then next, you're showing me something that made me hungry. He's sending me a picture of some pizza there. Yeah, that's looks pretty nice. Good Cat says Arnold and Twins versus Arnold and Last Action Hero. We're not doing that now. We're done. We're done. Bob Shrirsky says, hey, when was the last time an NFL team found a diamond in the rough via the open tryouts? I mean, like whether it's people show up and try out. Just
I believe it was Vince Papale back in the early 80s.
It's got to be
Vince Papale with the Eagles.
Yeah. Booger Wolf says, if Hefty Lefty wants to know the size of a guy's hand, then tell him to ask Senior Wake and Bake. Butt cheeks? What? Okay, I don't understand what that means, Booger Wolf. But that also is a good point that Hefty Lefty was asking for sizes of hands, but gives me a hard time for not liking somebody's shoes. Swazman says, remember, girls have the old saying, big feet, big disappointment. I'm 56, but I'm Polish, so you know how that goes. We have to talk slowly around you?
Really don't know how that goes.
That felt like four unrelated facts. I
just signals, cue cards. What are you saying?
Help us out, buddy. King Kenton says 77 applicants for that job loss, Toby. What kind of job is that? My new boss told me for the warehouse manager job I was hired for in Scottsdale, they only had 2 applicants who showed up for an interview. Don't know. Nasser Marcus says playing the amnesia card as it pertains to man card violations. I like it. It's not amnesia. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah, I mean, if you do anything long enough ago, and especially in radio, if you just say a lot of words, you don't remember what you said last week, much less a few years back.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time.
This is why they write laws down.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So FedFan says Crocs, the color of brown. So it's officially not a man card violation.
No.
I think the color.
Look.
Yeah, if they're like pink or something, that'd be maybe leaning towards. Lost Toby says, I used to hate Crocs and still think they're ugly, but they're damn comfortable.
See, I don't think so.
They make Crocs that look like shoes. Like it's still got the foam and the gel inside, but it's a shoe.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Just wear the shoe.
Really longer than I wanted to talk about Crocs. I'm not going to lie to you.
All right.
Mars Bars 805 says, it sounds like Crocs are the small dog in the muscle car. You know what I mean? It's not a man car violation, but not real manly. That is a perfect assessment. That actually is a big guy with a little teacup dog. And you're like, that must be his girlfriend's. He's like, no, it's mine. I'm like, okay, all right, whatever, man. Not a man card violation, but it's not a good look. Just saying. But of course, the big burly guy with the little dog, brilliant. Women love that. Women see you with a cute little dog. Oh, he's in touch with his man. He's a feminine side and all that. Really? He'll probably cry at the movie like me. No, he won't. No, he won't.
No.
Lost Toby says, I'm looking for a regional organizing director. Nobody in this audience could do that. I'm sorry. You're asking too much. You should see the way these texts come in. They are not organized even a little bit.
Can I ask what it pays?
You read regional organizing director, and my eyelids immediately got heavy.
What does it pay? Are there benefits?
Yeah, just out of curiosity's sake, Lost Toby.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, just saying.
Just in case.
You never know what happens. Yeah.
Never hurts to keep, fresh out there.
Maybe an email address for the resume. Yeah. Doesn't mean anything. Just
Rod's probably hearing this. What the hell's going on?
Yeah. Hefty Lefty says, not a Croc owner. Actually, I'm a sneakerhead, but never cared what people choose to wear. I don't care what shoes somebody wears, but it came up as a thing, Hefty Lefty. Quit being so damn sensitive. All right, you know what? It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1912 with the shanties torn down. I said shanties, not panties. The shanties torn down and the garbage pits filled in the Pigtown section of Brooklyn, Charles Ebbets broke ground for his team's new Bedford Avenue ballpark. Brooklyn Dodgers Flatbush facility, which would serve as the team's home for 44 years, would be named for its owner after a reporter at the ceremony he slipped $5 suggested the idea.
Yeah, that's how it got named, huh?
Yeah, a reporter suggested it, and Charles Ebbets is like, I like the way it sounds. Ebbets Field. Well, yeah, as if that was just a spontaneous moment. Come on. By the way, you want to do a tough trivia question? I'll give you some. I'll give you something right here. All five boroughs of New York City have been home of a pro sports team. Okay. All five, even Staten Island. All right.
Okay.
Teams for the other boroughs, the famous ones. Manhattan has the Knicks and the Rangers. Brooklyn has the Nets and the Islanders. They used to have the Dodgers. Bronx has the Yankees. Queens has the Mets. Who did Staten Island ever have?
Staten Island.
Yep. Don't say the Staten Island Fairies. Just say I got to cut you off on that one.
Had the New York Giants football team.
Nope. Keon, you want to take a guess? You'll never get it. How's that for a hint?
Okay, then we give up.
The Islanders?
No, but the word island was involved. The Staten Island Stapletons played in the NFL.
Wow. Okay.
NFL from 29 to 32 for 3
imagine
whole years.
If a team was called the Stapletons now?
I know.
Again, you need to remember your audience here.
We're old as hell.
Yes.
There you go.
You think we can remember that?
Listen, there's no remembering. We weren't alive 90 years ago, Randy. It was 1929 to 1932.
I feel about 278 years old right now.
It ain't the years, honey. It's the mileage. So, I thought that was just fascinating. I knew nobody was going to get it, but it was kind of fun to think of. There was actually
Staten Island Stapletons
at one time an NFL team on Staten Island. Just saying. So Lost Toby says the regional is $58,000 a year, and Arizona organizing director, I'm hiring $80,000 a year.
Oh,
full benefits.
I'd like to apply for that one.
He says, I was surprised how I get the benefits. I didn't read my contract, he says. You always got to read your contract.
$80K? I'd like to apply for that one.
You know what I'm doing right now? Scrolling back to see his email address from when he won those tickets. There it is. Mars Bar says the fish sticks. No, it was Staten Island Stapleton. So yeah. All right. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. What I need is over here. So hold on.
Okay. Dun,
it's time to spin the wheel of sports, Randy. Why don't you give that thing a nice spin?
Haven't spun that in a while.
Have you heard of Andrew Jones? Andrew with a W, Jones.
Andrew Jones, ball player, baseball player.
Yeah,
from
Braves,
Curacao or whatever you say.
So right. So here, Drew Jones is his son. Drew with a U also.
Yeah.
and he's the top 2022 Major League Baseball draft prospect.
How about that?
And so he's a high school player. He's at the plate, and he's there, and the crowd starts chanting, overrated. He's up the bat, and they're yelling overrated. And if you watch the video, you see something interesting. He's kind of bobbing up and down to overrated, and he's like kind of doing this rhythm thing. And then the pitch comes, the high fastball, which he then proceeds to launch out of the park to being chanted overrated. Yeah. It was beautiful.
Nice.
Why would you yell that at a high school kid, by the way? You know what I mean?
There's a lot of things that people yell at high school games.
People are crappy to high school kids. As high school sports gets to a level of competitiveness that really should be reserved for professionals, people getting paid, people making money.
Yeah.
I'm going to hazard a guess that not one single person who yelled overrated while he hit that home run has any hope of ever playing in Major League Baseball.
That's right. It's very true. That's very true.
So I just love that moment. Talk all your crap and see what happens. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us on this Friday. Have a safe and wonderful weekend. We'll be back in your radios again tomorrow on Monday at 3 p.m. Don't forget, tons of basketball heading your way here on 1580 The Fanatic. GCU is playing Dixie Cup State, 5:45 p.m. tomorrow. Sunday, we got the Big South Championship. We got the Missouri Valley Championship, the Women's Pac-12 Championship. And then on Monday, right after our show, we're going to have a shorter show at 4:45, the Southern Conference Championship. We're getting close. We're getting close to the actual tournament, ladies and gentlemen. March Madness is only 1 week away. Join us here on 1580 The Fanatic. See you guys. Daily Blender's over. Bye.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things